and balanced.
This morning we've had rain showers and 66 degrees. Some heavy fog in spots as well as winds continue to be calm to 4 miles an hour from the southeast. At 5:02 on AM 560, The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. And Illinois' top lawmakers say they're pretty much on the same page when it comes to paying for schools in the state. But rank-and-file lawmakers may find some problems as the General Assembly goes back to work later today in Springfield. Lawmakers are expected to begin the process of approving a new plan to pay for Illinois public schools. But there are possible stumbling blocks. Republicans may not like the hundreds of millions heading to the Chicago public schools for a pension bailout, while Democrats are expected to have major issues with a scholarship tax credit program included in the plan. Now, leadership, Republicans and Democrats, call it a win-win. Democrats are declining to comment, though, ahead of today's meetings at the Capitol. The woman who tossed a powdery substance in the halls of the Illinois Capitol last month will not face charges. Prosecutors announcing they're not filing charges in that case in Sangamon County, where the state's attorney says the woman was actually tossing salt. There's no evidence she intended to harm or cause a disturbance of the peace. The incident did cause a 2-hour lockdown at the State House. One woman this morning is being questioned after 4 children were found living in neglectful conditions on Chicago's northwest side. Officers made that discovery yesterday during a well-being check at an apartment in the 6700 block of West Irving Park. The siblings have been taken to the hospital for evaluation. A Chicago gang member is on the FBI's 10 most wanted list. Is now in custody following his arrest over the weekend in Mexico. Luis Macedo was captured by Mexican Federal Immigration Police Saturday in Guadalajara. The former Southwest Side man is charged in the murder of a 15-year-old, Alex Arellano. The victim's body burned and then discovered in the backyard of a vacant home in the Gage Park neighborhood. The former boyfriend of a Vermont woman who was found dead down a roadside embankment is due to be arraigned in her killing. 61-year-old Rando Gibo was arrested in Downers Grove and was held there until being returned to Vermont last week. He's scheduled to be arraigned this morning. 2 bicyclists are in stable condition this morning. They were struck by a vehicle on Lakeshore Drive. Police say a woman drove around traffic cones yesterday near Waveland and slammed into the victims. They were participants in the Chicago Triathlon. Chicagoans coming together after white supremacist graffiti was discovered in a Lincoln Square neighborhood. The words "diversity is white genocide" were spray painted on the ground near Waters Elementary School. Authorities in Cook County are making a public plea to help identify a child whose body was found last month inside a suburban Chicago home after a fire. The fire happened July 3rd in Markham. Firefighters found that body that the Cook County Medical Examiner's Office says is that of an African-American girl between 9 months and 2 years. Several items that may help identify the girl were found at the scene, including a white onesie with pink flowers and a light pink fleece blanket with blue elephants. Anyone with new information is asked to call the medical examiner's office at 312-660-0200. The Bears topped the Titans 19-7 in a preseason affair in Tennessee. However, wide receiver Cam Meredith had to be carted off the field with what is believed to be a season-ending ACL injury. Phillies cut down the Cubs 6-3. Matt Davidson highlights a 5-run third with a 3-run home run. White Sox bombed the Tigers 7-1. The News is a service of Boost Mobile. Switch to Boost and get the 2 lines with 3 gigs of 4G LTE data per line for only $50 plus. Get up to 2 free LG X-Power phones, all powered by the fast and reliable Sprint nationwide network. Boost makes it easy to switch. Switching makes it easy to save. 5:06 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The biggest conservative event in Chicago is back. It's Freedom Summit 2017, and it's coming to the Westin Chicago Northwest in Itasca on Saturday, November 11th, and it's bigger than ever. This year, see best-selling author and filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza, along with Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North, Larry Elder, Joe Walsh, Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson, and many more. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Automated Systems Incorporated.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I've had 10 major surgeries, including 3 brain surgeries. And I have extreme rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, and fibromyalgia. And I wanted to let him know that his Balance of Nature have helped boost my immune system so much, because I'm on injectable medications for the rheumatoid, and they bring down your immune system. Since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I haven't gotten a cold, nothing. It really helped me tremendously.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
When Hurricane Harvey struck Texas and the Gulf Coast over the weekend, the world turned upside down for children and families in its path. When disaster strikes, children suffer in unimaginable ways, and Save the Children is there to meet their unique needs. Even now, Save the Children is in Texas and along the Gulf Coast, making sure hurt and frightened children impacted by Hurricane Harvey get the help they need. To care for and protect children has been the mission of Save the Children for nearly 100 years, so when tragedies like Hurricane Harvey strike, they're prepared and they're on the ground for children and their families around the world and right here at home. Your $50 right now to Save the Children will deliver essential supplies for families forced to evacuate, including hygiene kits, blankets, portable cribs, and strollers. Children are counting on us. Call 888-248-0312. That's 888-248-0312. Or give online right now at savethechildren.org/radio.
5:09 and a check of our roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Mike. On the inbound Kennedy Expressway, the exit to Irving Park is blocked. There was a major earlier truck fire near Montrose, which had everything shut down in that area, but that's been relocated. All the main lanes of the Kennedy are open. It's just the exit to Irving Park, which is blocked. Cleanup and ongoing investigation after this earlier truck fire. Outbound Stevenson, traffic is slow from the Tri-State 283. There's roadwork in the right lane. Should be wrapping up shortly. We're still looking at about a 3 to 5 minute delay in that area. There's some work on the outbound Ryan again this morning at 87th of the 3 left lanes. The other expressways and tollways are wet, but otherwise okay. There's a crash in Elmhurst at 83 and St. Charles. Traffic, service of Napa Auto Parts. This month, participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Napa Legend battery comes with a prepaid Visa card worth $15 by mail. So start every drive with a Legend. Save yourself some money with a Napa Legend battery. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. With meteorologist Michael Stack.
Today, mostly cloudy skies with a few showers and a thunderstorm. Today's high 77, cloud scene breaking with a shower in spots late. Tonight's low 63. Tuesday, clouds and sunshine with a passing shower, high 78. I'm Michael Stack on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 66 at O'Hare, 67 along the lakefront. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
If it hadn't been for Joe Cotton Ford, I'd still be driving a beautiful car. Now we go live to Dan and Amy broadcasting from Joe Cotton Ford. Yeah!
Good morning, Dan and Amy. That is the
Wow.
worst spoof song I've ever heard in my life.
But the whole way, when I was driving here to Joe Cotton Ford, I kept singing that song over and over again in my head.
Is that Justin, our technical
Yeah.
producer? That's
He's
that's some very screechy business that you just heard. We apologize for that. But we are coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford, Dan and Amy, Chicago's Morning Answer this morning. Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream, of course, the preferred car dealer for Ann B. Davis's bowling ball.
Yeah, that's right. Because you,
yeah, he just picked up a ride here.
Really?
And
that was at your behest, though. Didn't he
Well-
call you and say, "Hey, Dan, I need a car. Where should I go?"
Yeah, and I sent him over to Tracy Kahn at Joe Cotton Ford, and he got jacked out 4x4 right off the lot. And I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to race up and down North Avenue this morning.
That one's pretty hot. I don't even know the name of the car, but
That's not a 4x4.
it's a Focus RS. That's a good looking ride.
I need a pickup truck, a
Oh, there you-
4x4 for my
For
my
your what?
fleet.
For your fleet.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm
going to take any car because
Well,
they'll have automatic
yeah.
lights turn on, right? That fancy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That as opposed to that jalopy that you.
I'm surprised they let me park it out front. So thank you, Tracy.
So just a couple of housekeeping items. The big office party that we had on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
I heard you did about as well as Conor McGregor.
I thought, I came in third place, Dan. But as they always say, if you ain't first, you're last. So I
hate them.
Yeah. So I wore the shirt that I wore. People thought it looked like an Apple Vacations or a Amstar shirt. So I didn't do well. And nobody, what I figured out? No one really likes me at work. They tolerate me, but they're not backing me when it comes to the Hawaiian shirt contest. So the person who won is Roger Piper. Walked away with a $25 Visa gift card. And in second place was this guy named Eric Thomas, who I thought should have won. He did have the ugliest shirt because he also had ugly shorts on.
It's fantastic. Thanks for that wrap-up.
I would agree with that.
Wait, look who showed up. The second place.
Yeah, excuse me. You don't speak unless you're spoken to.
Amy was speaking to me.
She was speaking about you.
She was speaking to me.
Not to you.
Fine, then I'll turn my own mic.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boy, first he loses the Hawaiian shirt contest, and now this public embarrassment. Tough morning, tough weekend for Eric. Also tough weekend for Conor McGregor. I know you were at the Lionel Richie concert.
No, that would be my ex-husband who I said, can you be more of a P word than go to the Lionel Richie concert instead of watching the fight? But yeah, so I was like many people. I ordered it on Showtime, and their system was jammed, and thousands of people that ordered the fight couldn't see it.
Yeah,
because their system crashed.
I mean, most people were concerned about the devastation in Houston and people who had lost the basic necessities of life. But I mean, you have first world problems, and your Showtime feed was a little spotty.
So you know what I did? I texted and called every single person in my neighborhood. And most of them were sleeping. Moms woke them up. They're like, Amy, you never call. Is everything okay?
And your
I
ex-husband.
said, where's the fight?
And your ex-husband was dancing on the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, what a feeling.
Yeah.
He's never going to live that one down. Never going to live that one
Probably
down. So
should
what
turn
I
in his
did
man
is
card.
I had on my pajamas and I snuck into the piggery down the street. I went through the
what is
back
that?
door kitchen. It's a bar.
Oh.
And I was going to watch it from the street, but they put up they put up paper so that you couldn't see in through the windows.
Sure.
And it was a $30 cover charge, but I thought, you know what? Since this is like my satellite kitchen, I don't think I should have to pay. So I snuck in and watched the fight. What did you think? You weren't. Don't tell me you were at the Lionel Richie concert.
Yeah, it's funny. I was there with your husband, your ex-husband. I didn't know how to break it to you. I thought maybe you'd find that to be some kind of mark of disloyalty. No, I was actually up. We did our fantasy football draft up at Sand Valley. Played golf in Sand Valley this weekend.
Oh, yeah,
which is
how'd you do?
Awesome track. I actually played pretty well.
Yay!
It's coming around. Yeah.
Woo! It's taken all summer, but Dan has got his game back.
I mean, I shot 80, but
That's good on that course.
as first time in that course, and I mean the greens are unbelievable. Very difficult course, and the way I hit the ball, I really should have shot 72 or 73. I played the par 5s 5 over.
Nice.
So that was terrible. So anyway, I played well. But so then we watched on Showtime during the draft.
Do you want to do Do you want to be Connor or do you want to be Mayweather? He was like that. He was so out of his element Conor McGregor, he was boxing like a girl. I mean, he had his hands, he wasn't protecting his face at all.
I mean, I appreciate your analysis, Dr. Ferdy Pacheco. But, yeah, he afforded himself well. I think he surprised Mayweather with how adept he was for his first professional boxing fight, even though he's MMA. But ultimately, here's the bottom line. Yeah. You hit Floyd Mayweather in his hands, and he hits you in your head. And over the course of several rounds, that turns to Mayweather's favor, which is what happened with his 10th round TKO. But it didn't dampen McGregor's spirits at all, because he is one of the great trash talkers of the modern era, is Conor McGregor.
I think I deserve to see let me into the corner, and then he could decide. I didn't go down, and there was one shot where I slapped the head back, and then the last shots were grazing. Now, they hit me, but they were grazing. They weren't like clean shots. The head didn't snap back. They were like as I was turning. Let me try and get to the bell. And then if you're not happy at the bell, then you can maybe pull me. Do you know what I mean?
So he was upset that the ref called the fight in the 10th round. He wanted to go.
Is that what he said?
Well,
I didn't understand a word he said.
Yeah.
I mean, I watch Peaky Blinders, and I still don't understand what Conor McGregor is talking about.
Yeah.
But, but the fight should have been stopped.
But also, too, they should have gone into the cage. They should have done one round in the boxing ring, one UFC round, another boxing, another, in the octagon to make it fair. Don't you think?
Yeah.
No, that would be... that would have been worth watching.
Well, when you go into business with Don King, you can see if you can arrange that. But the big winner Saturday night, of course, Dana White, UFC, because it kind of raised the profile of UFC, more legitimized UFC, and the IRS, because now Mayweather can pay his $30 million delinquent tax bill.
Talked the IRS into letting, because they were going to send him to jail, and he said, I'll give you your money. Let me do this fight. So he came out of retirement, and the proceeds went to the IRS.
Well,
not all of them, but
right.
some of them.
Yeah.
But he tried to make a $5 million bet on himself, and then it went down to $500,000, and they wouldn't let him bet on himself, so he had his friends do it for him, and they bet $400,000 on him.
That's easy money. I made easy money on the fight too. I mean, theoretically.
How much money did you
make?
But
the thing with I mean that the Mayweather thing though, I love his attorney sent us a letter saying he expects a soon-to-come-to-pass capital event. So if you just give him till, say, Saturday night, I think everything's going to be squared away. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carroll Stream.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
Forecast for today, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers and thunderstorms, a high of 75 degrees. Tonight, an evening shower. And then for Tuesday, some clouds and sun. Can't rule out a passing shower, a high of 78 degrees. Now let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center and say good morning to Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Got a crash at Elmhurst on 83 at St. Charles. There's the inbound Kennedy. There's a major crash and truck fire earlier this morning near Montrose. Everything there has been relocated to the Irving Park exit ramp, which is closed, going from the inbound Kennedy to Irving Park. But all lanes are open on the Kennedy, and we're not seeing any significant delays. Express lanes are open inbound. 190 still looking okay. We can expect some traffic there in a little bit. Edens is wet, but otherwise fine. Same goes for the Eisenhower. Stevenson inbound tight Kedzie to California. There is an outbound crash. Just cleared out of the way by IDOT very quickly. It's still a bit of a jam from Demon to California, so about a 5-minute delay there. We see slight delays on the inbound Ryan, I-57, and the Bishop Ford. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. We all know increasing revenue's tough, but did you know that 100% of main sources of income fail? The odds are 100% that your current main source of income will someday no longer exist. 439 of 1955's original Fortune 500 are no longer around, yet their industries and even their product lines still thrive. What happened to these companies? Simple. They didn't believe that 100% of main sources of income fail. They never added a second revenue model. For years, my friends at Income Store have helped both households and businesses build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Go to IncomeStore.com today. That's IncomeStore.com.
When you have sleep apnea, traveling can be a real drag because you have to drag your big, bulky home CPAP device with you everywhere you go. But not anymore. Now you can travel easily and sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. And right now, you can try Transcend absolutely risk-free for 10 restful nights. So call now, 1-800-600-3585. Our smallest and most advanced portable design ever, Transcend is as small as a soda can and weighs less than a pound. You can even add a battery that's as tiny as a deck of cards. Transcend is so incredibly small and light, you can easily fit it in your briefcase or purse to use anywhere you go. It's FAA compliant too, so you can even sleep comfortably while flying. Now you can enjoy the freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere. But don't delay. To receive your 10-night in-home trial, call minicpap.com now. 1-800-600-3585. Again, that's 1-800-600-3585.
What do you call charging thousands of dollars for hearing aids? I call it outrageous because hearing should not be a privilege for the rich. It's a basic right everyone deserves. Hi, I'm Dr. Chera Curry, board-certified ear, nose, and throat physician. If you or a loved one suffer from hearing loss but can't afford thousands for a hearing aid, I created MD Hearing Aid for you, a high-quality medical-grade hearing aid for a fraction of that price.
Try MD Hearing Aid at home risk-free for 45 days. Call 1-800-300-0868.
No costly doctor's visit. No expensive and time-consuming fittings or appointments. No ugly, old-fashioned hearing aid that costs thousands. MD Hearing Aid is an FDA-registered, audiologist-tested hearing aid that's discreet and lets you hear what you've been missing at a savings of more than 80% off the average price of a traditional hearing aid.
Try MD Hearing Aid risk-free for 45 days. Call 1-800-300-0868. Plus, you'll get free shipping and free batteries for a year. 1-800-300-0868.
Daily stress is a big deal. Fact is, the terrible impact of stress is very deadly and shortens our lives. Stressed individuals attract diseases, just like blood in the water attracts sharks. Hi, this is Dr. David Kolbaba. I'm the show host of Health Quest Radio, the longest-running health news and science show in Chicago. And for over 33 years, we share practical concepts from a natural healthcare perspective to minimize the need for all those dangerous drugs and risky surgeries. Today, it's our dirt-cheap adrenal stress index test. No blood, just spit. You know, most people flunk on their first go-around signaling adrenal gland distress. And then following our stress-busting strategies, most individuals pass their second test with flying colors. So if you can spare a little spit, call and purchase your first dirt-cheap adrenal stress index test, and we'll hold that same special low price for your follow-up test. Call 800-794-1855. You can't get any cheaper than dirt cheap. 800-794-1855. And be sure to tune in to Health Quest Radio this Saturday morning at 11.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford in scenic Carroll Stream, Illinois.
Do you hear that? Do you hear it?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. The Lionel Richie concert.
Met me and your ex-husband at such a time. Now the flip side of that, while we were enjoying our respective bread and circuses over the weekend, in Houston, there was devastation. I mean, I'm sure people have seen the pictures coming out of Houston, a nursing home, senior citizens up to their waist in water.
And the owner of this nursing home, she thought, she'd keep everybody safe, and the water kept rising. So she took this picture, sent it to her daughter. Her daughter tweeted it out. And then within an hour, all 24 people were rescued. But I mean, watching them in wheelchairs, and this woman's sitting in a chair knitting with water up to her chest.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Did you see the cat in the background, too?
Airports. Yeah, okay. Oh, right. Yeah. Well, there is an issue of
there's a lot of animals
abandoned pets,
yes.
and then of course Otis, the German Shepherd, who has become an international superstar. He's the dog that was carrying the food bag. The picture went viral. Airports closed. Talking about 12, 15 feet of water.
I mean, it's
all over the place.
It rained 24 inches in 24 hours, and there's still more to come because the system is just hovering, just spinning over the area. They made 2,000 swift boat rescues so far, and a lot of them have been, there was a call to action saying if you own a boat,
Swift boat
please go.
John Kerry's not involved, I hope.
Please go and rescue your neighbors. Go check on your neighbors and use your boats to help us.
Here, FEMA Administrator Brock Long had this to say.
FEMA's going to be there for years, sir. This disaster recovery, this disaster is going to be a landmark event. And we're already in the stages. While we're focused on response right now and helping Texas, respond, we're already pushing forward recovery housing teams. We're already pushing forward forces to be on the ground to implement National Flood Insurance Program policies as well and doing the inspections that we need. So we're setting up and gearing up for the next couple years.
And so one of the questions now with the devastation that was wrought and so many people that were trapped was the relative level of mixed messages coming from local versus state officials with respect to evacuation. Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, telling everybody from Corpus Christi to Houston
to get out,
to evacuate, but Sly Turner...
Yeah, Sly Turner, he didn't force an evacuation.
Well, it was worse than that. Sly and the family Turner said, don't evacuate.
Well, because he didn't want to put millions of people on the road because he said that could cause a major calamity. In 2005, when Hurricane Rita came, the roadways, every highway was jam-packed. People ran out of gas. There were accidents, and there was a heat wave, too, so some people died from heat exhaustion.
Well, there are legitimate questions about the lack of coordination and the messaging between local and state, and ultimately because of the power of this storm, as Donald Trump tweeted, a once-in-500-year storm, and the impact of it, if Sly and the family Turner made the right call, or if there should have been a more methodical evacuation that was processed for days leading into this weekend's storms, as opposed to not have a bum rush out the door 24 hours before the storm
it's
hits.
bad when they open up the convention center. When I heard that, I was like, now it's images of Katrina and people,
right?
And then this one town, Victoria, everyone's in the elementary school, and he was on CNN, this community organizer who just said, let's all go to the elementary school, begging for oxygen for the elderly, begging for any food and water. It just breaks your heart because they don't even have a cell phone. The cell phone tower is gone, and the only communication they have is through the reporters that are on the ground.
Yeah, well, if Sly and the family Turner starts to talk about Houston being a chocolate city, then they're really in trouble. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream. And Amy, what do we have coming up?
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Governor Rauner is going to sign sanctuary state legislation today, but on Friday he signed trans birth certificates. We'll talk about it at 5:37.
And later, Sheriff Joe Arpaio joins us live at 7:07. But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning to everyone. 66 degrees and cloudy skies. Houston remains a city under siege by Mother Nature today. The National Hurricane Center calls catastrophic and life-threatening the flooding there as what once was Hurricane Harvey continues to hover over the region. Harris County Flood Control and the Army Corps of Engineers this morning are releasing floodwaters from 2 reservoirs, trying to protect 2 dams from failing this morning.
You do not want to have any type of failure of these reservoirs, so you have a controlled release where you control the water that's going out of the outlet structure.
Jeff Linder, though, says the problem with releasing that money out of those water out of those reservoirs is that the money goes right back into the city of Houston. Coast Guard is working to rescue people from the devastating floodwaters in the area.
And we've already assisted on the air side executed over 200 rescue rescues, and then also we have on the flood front side, they've actually rescued over 1,000 people at this time.
That's Captain Kevin Odett with the Coast Guard. They've saved over 1,000 from the rising waters as America's 4th largest city gets pounded hard, over 30 inches of rain since Harvey hit over the weekend. The destruction left behind by Harvey may leave parts of Houston uninhabitable for long periods of time. FEMA predicting their agency will be in Houston for up to 5 years. President Trump has plans to lift the ban on extra military gear being distributed to local police forces. Documents detail that new plan. You may recall the ban was issued by former President Barack Obama in an executive order meant to try and reduce tension between communities and law enforcement. The Navy says remains of all 10 sailors missing from the USS John S. McCain's collision with an oil tanker have been recovered. Amazon cutting prices at your local Whole Foods. The lower prices at the health food store start today on a selection of best-selling grocery staples at the store. Illinois' top lawmakers say they are on the same page when it comes to paying for public schools in the state. Now they say it's time for rank-and-file lawmakers to follow. The Illinois General Assembly returns to work today in Springfield. There are possible stumbling blocks to the negotiated new school funding plan. Democrats may stand in the way over scholarship tax credits. 2 bicyclists are in stable condition. They were struck by a vehicle on Lakeshore Drive. Police yesterday say a woman drove around traffic cones near Waveland Avenue and slammed into victims who were participating in the Chicago Triathlon. Bears topped the Titans 19-7. Phillies down the Cubs 6-3, and White Sox were winners over the Tigers 7-1. The News is a service of Firestone Complete Auto Care. The technicians at Firestone Complete Auto Care know when a tuned-up motor meets a new set of tires, well, the road better get buckled up. Get $70 by mail on a Bridgestone Visa prepaid card when you buy a set of 4 eligible Bridgestone tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone. 5:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Mike Gallagher Show.
This has been a ridiculous few days in this country. It's sad. It's infuriating. It is heartbreaking. The loss of this young life was so needless and absolutely wasted.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas, great coffee, period.
Hi, I'm Lex Howard, CEO of Balance of Nature. I occasionally take new customer calls, and too often people tell me that they have heard our advertisements for years. If Balance of Nature is not currently being delivered to your doorstep, start now and begin experiencing the benefits of Balance of Nature in your life. Call and see how you can get your free month supply.
I noticed a difference in the first month.
I got rid of most of my other vitamins. I feel pretty good, even though I'm an old guy, 77. I think it's doing great.
I just feel good. I just believe they're really what they say they are.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to find out how to get your free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago.
5:35 and a check of the roads. Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center time. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Those roads are wet, so allow some following distance. Crash on Chicago's near north side, Chicago Avenue at LaSalle. One in Elmhurst on 83 at St. Charles. Kennedy inbound. The exit to Irving Park is closed. This after a major earlier wreck and truck fire was relocated to that ramp. The actual incident happened around Montrose. All lanes are open on the Kennedy itself. Just that exit to Irving Park is closed. We're not seeing significant delays. Eden's 5, westbound 190 is now heavy. River Road to the Tri-State. Got Eisenhower just a bit tight, 25th Avenue to 17th. Inbound Stevenson. Play started Cicero. There's a crash reported at Pulaski. 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 42, heavy Ashland to California after a crash just cleared. Ryan is 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound 18 with roadwork at 87th. I-57, 23 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishop Ford 25. Traffic. Service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. The Napa Legend battery comes with a prepaid Visa card worth $15 by mail. So start every drive with a Legend. Save yourself some money. The Napa Legend battery. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast from the Air Comfort .com Weather Center, cloudy, couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. High 75. We've seen some rain and fog already this morning. An evening shower in spots. Otherwise, clouds will break around midnight, low 63. And leading to tomorrow, times of clouds and sun with passing shower and a high of 78. Currently 66 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Real Estate Revealed with Randy Barcella. Heard each and every Sunday at 8 a.m. on AM 560, The Answer.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. We're coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream. They are our signature car dealer sponsor for the Freedom Summit coming up in November.
Yeah, 11/11.
Yeah.
Saturday.
That's a special day.
It's a very special day. It's
You
your
know.
father's birthday.
Correct. That's why it's a special
Exactly.
day.
And
Yeah.
Peyton's birthday.
Peyton's your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And my birthday. But I mean, you know. That's not
It has to, you have to rain on my father's parade and Peyton's parade.
Yeah, so Freedom Summit tickets have just gone on sale, so make sure you purchase yours today. It's happening again on Saturday, November 11th at the West in Chicago, Northwest in Itasca. And our headline speaker this year, Dan Proft.
No,
Dinesh
come on.
D'Souza also appearing. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North will be there. Larry Elder, so I have to bring in my mom.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll be there, too. So tickets are on sale right now, freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com.
And Dinesh D'Souza will also be appearing on our show this morning at the top of the 8 o'clock hour.
We
so
got
you
a
wanna
really
check that out.
rockin' show today.
We do. And so remember how I say ad nauseum, and will continue to, that just because as an elected official you desire not to have a social agenda doesn't mean that other legislators or governors, other people in public office who get to play as well, that they will not have a social agenda. And so I know there's been mainly over the last week focus on what will happen this morning at 10:30 a.m., by the way, and that is Governor Rauner will sign the sanctuary state legislation, the so-called Trust Act. And they're doing the Illinois Republican Party is doing a nice job trying to spin it, but it's going to be a tough sale. He's going to do it at Mi Tierra, the Mexican restaurant.
In Park Ridge?
No, in Chicago.
Oh,
2528 South Kedzie in Chicago, Mi Tierra. That's at 10:30 this morning. So that's going to happen. What happened on Friday, you may have missed it because it gets buried at the end of the day Friday. People are looking forward to the weekend and
not focusing on the news.
Right, looking forward to going
That's
to the Lionel
the
Richie
best-
concert.
Yeah, that's, well, you got to pick out what you're going to wear.
Absolutely. And so on Friday, among the bills that he signed or took action on, trans birth certificates. This legislation that the governor signed would allow people to change their gender on their birth certificate, not if they undergo formal gender reassignment surgery,
right?
But now just if a medical or mental health provider confirms someone has received quote-unquote clinically appropriate treatment from hormone therapy to others. And so the left that likes to wrap itself in the cloak of science, they're science advocates. Not when it comes to gender, are they? Because they want science to be ignored for your preferred gender at any given moment to be sanctified and mainstreamed. And that's what this is really about. This is more of the cultural assault on gender, and the governor has signed on to that culture war.
Why did he sign this? I mean, was it a problem before? I mean, could you just change your gender? Because I know people can freely change their names. If you're not happy with your name, you can go to court and you can change your name.
Yes, that's not your name is not a biological scientific fact. That's the difference. And so it's worth noting because I know, if somebody wants to change their gender and then change it back and then change it back again, what do I care? Because, of course, these things all occur in a vacuum, right? And they'll never be visited upon, say, my kindergarten as the, trans becomes the latest solidarity and marginality group of the left that they're using as a fulcrum to leverage a complete transformation of American society. And I think eliminating the difference between genders is sort of a significant event. I mean, eliminating the difference in genders, theoretically, politically, not biologically. The left can come up with any cockamamie excuse they want.
So even teenagers?
But it doesn't change physical, biological reality.
No, but so can teenagers, if they go through, a year of counseling or 6 months of counseling?
All they need is some phony baloney medical provider to sanction that they have received appropriate care. And by the way, appropriate care, you're cheerleading for this. Is that appropriate care? Arguably, you have people suffering from severe depression, you have people suffering from mental illness, and you're leading them to a primrose path to making their situation worse. But that's proper medical care in this context.
It's almost encouraging bad behavior.
Well,
what about the girl at BG High School who's a dash? Because she doesn't want to be a he or a she. She just wants to be referred to as a dash.
A dash.
No, I'm not kidding you. It's a dash.
Can you have a dash on your birth certificate?
That's because that's what's next.
Maybe the General Assembly will get to that next session. They take up these big issues. So just in terms of the vacuum that people sometimes, I guess, seem to think these things occur within until it comes to their doorstep. California kindergarten class. Okay. So this kind of stuff doesn't matter. Whatever the LGBTQMNSOPT, whatever they do, it doesn't matter. Let me introduce you to the Rockland Academy, where a teacher did a reveal of a kindergartner who
a gender reveal party?
A gender reveal of a kindergartner. Kindergartner. Here's the backstory and the parental reaction.
And what I will share over and over again is how proud I was of my students.
An emotional Rockland Academy teacher addressing a packed house of parents, many furious about her decision to discuss the topic of gender identity inside her kindergarten class.
It was never my intent to harm any students, only to support them through a difficult situation.
The teacher defended her actions to read 2 books she says were given to her by a transgender child going through a transition.
The kindergartners came home very confused about whether or not you can pick your gender, whether or not they really were a boy or a girl.
Parents say besides the books, the transgender student at some point during class also changed clothes and was revealed as her true gender. And many parents say they feel betrayed and blindsided.
I want her to hear from me as a parent what her gender identity means to her and to our family. Not from a book that may be controversial.
My daughter went home crying, shaking, so afraid that she could turn into a boy.
The issue was not on the agenda, so parents spoke out during Monday night's public comment.
It's really about the parents being informed and involved and, giving us the choice and the rights about, what's getting introduced to our kids and at what age.
Many teachers also speaking out in support of what transpired inside the classroom on the last days of the academic year.
Silly parents, and the teachers speaking out, of course, in solidarity because those kids are their kids, and the parents don't understand. They have a ideological agenda to pursue, and if that involves, kindergartners stripping and talking about their private parts, then hey, that's just celebrating this wonderful transition that a kindergartner has decided to go through. Really?
A kindergarten, they don't even know. I mean, there's tomboys out there who eventually they find their womanhood or their feminine side, but they go through, just experimenting and role playing. But to do that in kindergarten, that is sick. She should have been arrested, that teacher. I mean, you can't. I thought it was bad that we had a minor little dabbling into sex education in kindergarten at our school, but we had kids in our school that have 2 dads. So they had explained to the kids why, Sally has a dad and a father. So they had to explain that. And I remember Russell or Eli, whatever you call him, being a little confused about that, but I had to explain it to him. But we weren't told beforehand that explanation was going to be taking place.
Well, lucky they're moving through grade school into high school because if they were starting kindergarten today, you'd have to prepare them for a show and tell party of a different
isn't that
kind, it sounds like.
Abuse at some point to have them go and then change into the gender that they want to be?
Celebrating. I'm so proud of you heard the teacher. I'm so proud of my students. We're celebrating this kindergartner's transition. There's so much wrong with that statement. It's difficult to know where to begin exactly. But okay, this is the culture. But it doesn't matter because it's not visited upon me until it's your kindergarten class, until
it's horrifying.
It comes to your doorstep, which it always does. You cannot hide from the culture around you. So decide on which side you want to find yourself standing.
What's the most disturbing is a mother who said, my daughter came home crying because she's afraid she'll be turned into a boy. And God, we all fear that, Dan.
Yeah. I mean, except Tiny Dancer, who hopes to someday grow up to be a real live boy. David in Lake Forest, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Morning.
Hey, David. Oh, do we have... David...
And,
David, I'm sorry, Dave, we were having a technical problem. Start over, will you?
The Tribune had touched on Governor Rauner's wife, Diana, and some of her influence on his political and now social agenda. And, for all intents and purposes, she's a New York liberal. And with the recent legislation that Rauner has signed, Friday, and now what he's going to sign on Monday, I consider myself a conservative, and I cannot see myself voting for him in this reelection. And I really don't know who I could vote for with the way politics have turned in Illinois.
Yeah, thanks for the call, David. Jeff.
Are you going to vote for the guy with no neck?
Jeff and Berwyn, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Greetings. Rauner has guaranteed that he will be a one-term governor. I called his office about a week or so ago and politely told him if he signs a sanctuary bill, he will destroy his base. Now he's going to cave to the Chicago Teachers Union. There's another one. And now this, I didn't even know about this transgender thing. He's finished. I don't know what he's thinking, but he's finished. And I hope the Trump administration cracks down hard on this state by becoming a sanctuary state. It's a federal law that specifically says it's illegal to pay welfare payments to illegal immigrants. The Trump administration would have every right to stop all federal payments to this state, including the welfare and Medicaid supplements. Squeeze us real good, and let the dice fall where they may.
Thanks for the call, Jeff. And with respect to the sanctuary state bill he's going to sign at 10:30 this morning, it's going to be very interesting to see if that draws a tweet from Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Neil in LaGrange, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer. Neil in LaGrange is not on Chicago's Morning Answer anymore. Sorry about that, Neil. We accidentally cut you off. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, did he cave to pressure? Barron Trump changed his wardrobe. But first, here's your forecast. Today, cloudy with a couple of morning showers and a thunderstorm likely, a high of 75 degrees. Tonight, an evening shower in spots. And then tomorrow, we're going to have some clouds and sun. Can't rule out a passing shower, a high near 80 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. How's the Kennedy and Irving Park doing? Here's Jim Telemonte with the answer.
Thanks, Amy. Well, it's a lot better than it could have been. The exit to Irving Park is blocked off the inbound side of the Kennedy. There was a major early wreck and truck fire. This was more than a couple of hours ago near Montrose, which had everything blocked off, but everything was relocated to that Irving Park exit ramp. That exit is still blocked. The only delay is a mild one out of the River Road Toll to Foster. So it's 22 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 25. We see some heavier traffic now on westbound 190 to Kennedy to the Tri-State. Inbound Stevenson got a jam. Harlem to Pulaski with a crash in the left lane. 57 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Bishop Ford very heavy. Delay starting at 115th. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
My name is David Hochberg, Vice President Lending at Pearl Mortgage. If you're looking to secure financing on a new home or refinance your existing home, give me a call. If you're purchasing a home within the next year, this is very important. Your credit score is the most important factor in determining your interest rate and monthly payments. I strongly advise listeners purchasing a home to contact me as far in advance as possible so I can pre-qualify you for free. I will analyze your credit and make recommendations to improve your credit scores so you can secure the lowest rate when purchasing a home. Paying banks and other lenders a fee to get pre-qualified is ridiculous. If you're purchasing a home, give me a call now at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com and get pre-qualified for free. I've helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but I can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. Fascism requires the entirety of civil society to be folded into the state. The government, the arts, technology, and business become one. Therefore, intellectuals, artists, and captains of industry must be on board. It's not the banality of evil, as Hannah Arendt argued. It was not the passivity of the hoi polloi, but rather the intellectual activism of elites like Hans F.K. Gunther that gave rise to the Third Reich. So the outrageous attempt recently by CNN to tar Trump voters with the fictional banality of evil argument is properly understood as a desperate misdirection play by Antifa sympathizers. Not even liberal intellectuals who believe in Brandeis's more speech, not enforced silence formulation for a free society like Columbia's Mark Lilla or Harvard's Alan Dershowitz are given quarter. So think about the ideology and conduct of those in America who dominate academia, the arts, Fortune 500 C-suites, and social media channels. Are they Trump supporters or dissent silencers? Visit the Castro-loving Colin Kaepernick exhibit at the Smithsonian African American History Museum, and then tell me where the threat of rolling up all of civil society into a fascist state really lies.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield. We cover major components of air conditioners, plus 20 other home systems and appliances, like electrical systems, plumbing, refrigerators, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-6096. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-6096. That's 1-800-400-6096. 1-800-400-6096.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, it is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is America's #1 hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now, we're giving everyone who texts GROW to 543-543 an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text GROW to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift card for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text GROW to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift card. This amazing offer is just one text away. GROW to 543-543.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
If you're young and healthy, you don't need life insurance, right? Yeah, that's what I used to think too, until my brother died at 38. Joe left his wife with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a stack of bills she couldn't pay. Mary had to sell the house and move everybody into this tiny 2-bedroom apartment just to make ends meet. I never want to do that to my wife, so I got life insurance. I called AIG Direct and was really surprised how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. Listen, if you have a family, you should seriously think about getting life insurance. You'll feel a lot better having it, trust me.
Call AIG Direct for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-700-5593. That's 1-800-700-5593. 1-800-700-5593.
Hear that? That's a sound you hear almost every day. A sound you may not pay too much attention to, but you should. It's the sound of the entry and exit of your entire business world. Without it, your business comes to a complete halt. When was the last time you had your commercial facility's entrance, exit, loading dock, or parking garage doors checked? You need to contact Helson's Garage Doors for an expert evaluation. Did you know your automatic commercial garage doors are tightly regulated by nationally recognized UL standards for safety? Or that your commercial facility's fire doors require annual testing in accordance with NFPA national codes and standards? Helson's Garage Doors has 40-plus years experience in Chicago's commercial overhead door industry and are the leading safety experts in Chicagoland. Don't be a victim to the potential liability of a door failure damaging property, or worse, injuring an employee or customer. Contact the safety and service experts at Helson's Garage Doors today. Be safe, be smart, be aware. Call 773-229-2082 or helsonsgaragedoors.com.
5:57 and a check of the roads. We do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Edens Expressway is just fine right now. Inbound Kennedy, heavy out of the River Road Toll to around Foster. Looking at 22 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Outbound, it's 25. Heavy Foster to Sayre. Inbound, the exit to Irving Park is closed after a major overnight wreck. We now see a problem on the outbound Edens at Oakton. Crash reported in that area. There's a bit of a jam starting up around Toohey. On Eisenhower. Delays start around Wolf. 37 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 33. Stevenson's very heavy after a crash at Pulaski. 57 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 37. Ryan is 24 minutes, 95th to downtown, outbound 16. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 24 minutes from I-80 to the merge. Traffic is a service of your local Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram dealer. It's the Labor Day sales event at your local Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram dealer. Get incredible deals on the award-winning lineup. Don't wait. These deals will not last long. Hurry in to your local Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram dealer today. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte at AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Michael Stack.
Today, mostly cloudy skies with a few showers and a thunderstorm. Today's high 77, cloud scene breaking with a shower in spots late. Tonight's low 63. Tuesday, clouds and sunshine with a passing shower, high 78. I'm Michael Stack on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 66 at O'Hare. The news is service of Napa Auto Parts with quality parts and more than 90 years of experience. Napa Auto Parts can help keep your car on the road all summer long. So stop by your local Napa store and keep it running longer, stronger with Napa know-how. 5:59. Here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Illinois' top lawmakers say they're on the same page when it comes to paying for schools, but now it's time for rank-and-file lawmakers to follow. The General Assembly returns to work today in Springfield. Chicago gang member on the FBI's 10 most wanted list is in custody following his weekend arrest in Mexico. One driver seriously hurt following a crash on the Bishop Ford Freeway near South Holland. It happened just north of 159th. Bears topped the Titans 19-7 in a preseason affair. Phillies cut down the Cubs, while it was the White Sox over the Tigers 7-1. More Dan and Amy after Fox News, WIND Chicago News Time, 6.
There's no end in sight in Texas. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
It's sad, man. A lot of devastation.
He's a firefighter in flooded Meyerland, Texas.
I don't know how many we've saved, probably 40.
Thousands have been rescued, some plucked off rooftops by helicopter, others by boat on streets turned into rivers as neighbors help neighbors.
We started to see images on social media of a nursing home here in Dickinson, and people were just heartbroken by it. We saw elderly patients sitting in water, and it went viral, and it didn't take long before help to arrive.
That's Fox's Casey Stiegel. He says dozens of residents were safely rescued. As a way to spare downtown Houston from more flooding, more water has been released from reservoirs overnight, though for thousands of homes it could mean even higher water.
The residents, if they remained, have been told for the last few days to stay put, don't go out, don't get in your cars. Well, guess what? They can't go anywhere.
Fox's Griff Jenkins. In knee-deep water in Houston. The flooding stretches across southeast Texas as Tropical Storm Harvey still sits over the region. Some areas could get 2 feet of rain more.
And there's also the areas like Rockport, devastated as a hurricane.
The whole downtown just a mess, absolute mess. Our friends and neighbors, our store, a disaster. It just breaks my heart.
Finally found inside their flooded ship. U.S. sailors killed at sea last week. Fox's Simon Owen has this live.
Dave, 10 sailors had been missing since the warship, the USS John S. McCain, collided with an oil tanker in waters near Singapore. Search teams had been scouring thousands of square miles of water, but the sailors' remains were eventually found aboard the ship by divers, trapped inside sealed sections of the hull. The collision, the fourth major accident for the U.S. Pacific Fleet this year.
Fox News, fair and balanced.
For 22 years, he served his country in the United States Marine Corps, including a tour of duty in Vietnam. He earned 2 Purple Hearts, a Bronze Star, and a Silver Star. And this year, on Veterans Day, retired Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North is coming to Chicago for Freedom Summit 2017, November 11th at the Westin Chicago Northwest. See Oliver North, Dinesh D'Souza, Larry Elder, and many more. Get your tickets at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Joe Cotton Ford.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to quickenloans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is in full swing, and even though summer's almost over, there's still time to save with a brand new Ford from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream. Hi, it's Amy Jacobson. My family and families all over Chicagoland are getting ready for back to school and all the after-school activities. To help keep up with the busy school year schedule, you need dependable transportation with plenty of room for sports equipment, musical instruments, and all those friends. Joe Cotton Ford is ready to help you find exactly the right vehicle that fits your lifestyle and your budget with no hassles, no drama, and no high-pressure sales tactics. Just what you need for another successful school year. At Joe Cotton Ford, your satisfaction is their top priority. That's why they're one of the highest repeat customer dealerships in Chicagoland, working with generations of Ford buyers and their families. Whether they're buying their first vehicle or their 14th, be ready for another great school year. Get to Joe Cotton Ford and drive home a new Ford car or truck today. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Empowered Investing, the show dedicated to investors. Heard Saturdays at noon right here on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
If it hadn't been for Joe Cotton Ford, I'd still be driving a beautiful car. Now we go live to Dan and Amy broadcasting from Joe Cotton Ford. Yeah!
That's growing on me. Dan and Amy, we are live from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream, Illinois, with our friend Tracy Kahn at the Joe Cotton Ford family. Ann B. Davis's bowling balls preferred Ford dealer.
Yeah, well, you turned him on to Joe Cotton Ford.
And
just tell the truth, Dan. You're a hero to all.
Well, and we're taking a collection up so that Amy does not leave this lot with this unroadworthy car that she came in.
It only has 130,000 miles on it.
We probably should get a GoFundMe page going for a new.
I want a minivan.
Like an F-150.
No, that's too much.
Expedition.
Car. That's
too
much car.
Peyton and Eli are big boys. You need an Expedition.
I know, but I coach and I transport entire teams. So I need a big minivan.
Expedition.
That's the Ford Expedition?
No, it's not a minivan, but it's that's
If you're not driving
that's
a
the
minivan.
volleyball team's traveling in style.
Oh, okay.
Which is what you want if you're on the volleyball team. I'm sure the girls on your volleyball team are seconding my emotion. All right, we're going to get to Joe Arpaio and President Trump's pardon of Joe Arpaio, as he telegraphed last week when he was in Phoenix.
Yes.
But last hour we were talking about this case of a gender reveal event at a California kindergarten class, unbeknownst to the parents. And this in conjunction with Governor Rauner signing trans birth certificate legislation on Friday.
Which means you can change your gender, but you have to have the approval of a medical professional?
No, well.
Or psychologist,
medical
psychiatrist.
professional.
Or
Yeah, a mental health
school nurse.
professional that says you're doing relevant treatments. It's very generic, like gender apparently is these days. And so that's the issue. It's not actually going through with gender reassignment surgery. It's essentially getting some crank to sign off on your feelings that day. Shelley in Downers Grove, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hello?
Hi, Shelley. Hi, Shelley.
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. So I've been teaching kindergarten for 30 years, and I'm not going to get into how I feel about the transgender movement, because as a teacher, you shouldn't even promote your ideology in any way, shape, or form. The best teachers are the ones that kids have no idea where they stand. Having said that, this idea that she could do this in the classroom is mind-blowing to me, because we have to have parents sign off on the handbook and walking field trip, and if the fifth graders are going to watch the movie about puberty, their parents have to sign for it. They have to sign off on internet usage. They have to sign off on pictures on publications for the school. So I don't understand how this fits into something that a teacher can just decide. This is not in Common Core. This is not part of a curriculum that I've ever seen, and it's shocking. Yeah, maybe the board doesn't care about the books because they have no idea what you read in the classroom every day. So she made a very bad decision, in my opinion, and created a rift with the very people she needs to work the most with in getting an education.
Thanks for the call, Shelley.
And the worst part is
Appreciate that.
this teacher was defending her actions, kind of like celebrating.
Of
This
course.
was such a great moment where, Shelley realized that she's Steve, and I don't know if those are the names that they use, but then she had them change clothes to come out in their new gender. And other kids in the classroom were crying because they were afraid that something would happen where they would change genders.
Yeah, so to answer Shelley's question, and she makes a great point, as someone who would know, spending 3 decades in the teaching profession. But you have to understand how this works in K-12. Do you understand how this works? Oh, yeah, everything requires parental sign-off for the pro forma stuff, the perfunctory stuff, the stuff that isn't hyper-politicized. But when it comes to what's au courant, like transgender, like gay rights movement, when it comes to something that is celebrated by the left and promoted by the teachers' unions that represent and fund the left, oh, well, no, they're exempt. They're exempt. When we're talking about re-educating your children, or at least some of them, from what they are otherwise taught in the home, that's a different story than parental consent. No, we know better. That's what you have to understand. If you don't understand that, then you have no idea what's happening in K-12 education, and it's been happening for a long time. This is just the latest iteration of it. Neil in LaGrange, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. The one other part of the story, I don't know if you've mentioned or not, about this thing in California. I was reading in the paper that one student was taken down to the principal's office and was accused of bullying because I think it was a kindergarten student or a first grader that accidentally called a boy, but now she identifies as a girl. So the principal basically questioned her for about the student for about an hour, and then found out that it was a legitimate mistake. That was another part of the story that I read in the paper.
The
Secondly,
Inquisition, yeah. All the Torquemadas that are grade school principals. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then the other thing about this transgender reassignment, John Hopkins out in East Coast have been doing this for a long time, and they stopped doing the reassignment surgery because all the outcomes were not good. The people that had it were, they stopped doing it. So
thanks for the
call. Like you said,
thanks for the call. I appreciate that. And Paul McHugh, if you want to read somebody's work, Dr. Paul McHugh, who's the head of psychiatry at Johns Hopkins. You may want to read if you're interested in science and medicine and actual positive outcomes for people. If you're interested in just cheerleading whatever is all the rage, then don't pay any attention to facts, and don't pay any attention to what happens to kids, and and don't pay any attention to what happens to freedom of thought and freedom of speech. I mean, California tried to follow the example of Canada. They're moving to criminalize the improper use of pronouns when it comes to people who are identifying all over the map at any given point. Criminalize the use of pronouns. Good luck with that.
No more freedom of speech.
Well, you have to make some sacrifices.
Why is the left focused on this issue? Why have they attached this to their ideology and their agenda?
Because
we prayed about this in church yesterday. I heard a whole sermon about this.
Because it's intersectionality, it's cultural Marxism. It's just the latest group that they're using for the solidarity and marginality play as a way to shame people that are not essentially of their viewpoint, and as a way to political power to impose their will and deconstruct Western society, which is what they've always been interested in. And so whether the target is capitalists or cisgendered, heteronormative, blah, 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 it's the same dynamic. That's what all of the isms and phobias are about. Solidarity and marginality, make the majority feel like their opinions are those of the minority, silence dissent, acquire political power, impose your will, enforce silence. And this is just an extension of it. But I know the culture will never come to you, right? So you don't have to worry about it until it does. Speaking of which, turning to the rule of law, again, at 7:07, we have the former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio on this show to get his reaction to President Trump's pardon of his contempt citation. And also Arpaio was on Hannity on Saturday night, or Friday night, I think.
Friday night.
And said, this week he is going to speak more on the topic and essentially confront some of his detractors so that the real story gets out and his reputation is defended. But basically we said, let's remember who we're talking about. Arpaio, before he was Maricopa County Sheriff and rose to some national prominence, he was a police officer. He was a DEA agent.
Yeah, he was a DEA agent here in Chicago.
And
then he took a break for a while
and
went to a travel agency, and then was asked back to serve, and he did.
Well, and by the way, before he was a police officer and a DEA agent, he served in the U.S. Army.
Yes, he did.
So,
and I've been talking to him all weekend, and his wife Ava, and they said they found out Friday when their lawyer came to the door and had some papers for them to sign. That's how they found out that he was being pardoned by the president.
Here's what Arpaio had to say on Hannity about said pardon.
Well, it's great. I love that president. He supports law enforcement, and I'm very humble. If you recall, 2 years ago, I supported him, and I said publicly recently, pardon or no pardon, I will be with him to the end.
Well, one person who does not agree with the pardon
a lot of them
is House Speaker Paul Ryan. The Speaker does not agree with this decision, said a spokesman. Law enforcement officials have a special responsibility to respect the rights of everyone in the U.S. We should not allow anyone to believe that responsibility is diminished by this pardon. John McCain echoed those sentiments.
and Flake.
And so the question is, do you agree with the pardon? Or is this justice, I guess is the real question, or is this justice Obama style? And when I say Obama style, I mean not justice. Think of the contempt citations issued by Congress against Eric Holder and Lois Lerner that were dismissed. Think about the commutation of Bradley Manning's prison sentence for treason. Is this a rule of man problem, or is this a rule of law and this justice in this case? 312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA turnkey.pro text line.
Well, a lot of critics are saying that President Trump should have waited until after the sentencing because they wanted Sheriff Arpaio to show some remorse. Believe it or not, his sentencing was scheduled to take place in October. He faced up to 6 months in prison, and a lot of people thought that he would spend at least a month in prison, which is such a joke. So President Trump, and then there's, the Washington Post reported that President Trump asked Jeff Sessions if there was a way to stop the prosecution against Arpaio. And some see that as meddling, that's, he went above and beyond to try and get this case dropped against Arpaio.
Some say it's a lot worse than that. Michael Gerson, who's a Washington Post columnist and kind of a Bush light Republican, he had this to say on Meet the Press about the pardon.
I mean, this guy has a career of dehumanization. That's what he stood for in his position. And it fits, though. In a certain way, metaphorically, I think Trump is pardoning his own approach to politics. He's pardoning himself by pardoning Arpaio, because this is a politics based on dehumanization. In his case, Muslims, migrants, refugees.
Don't forget members of the media.
Right, exactly, yeah. But so I think that in a weird way, this is a self-pardon.
Little rat, Chuck Todd. What about that? Is this Trump pardoning himself, pardoning someone who, like him, is a practitioner of the dehumanization of people through politics? The left is going further than that. Jay Michelson writing in the Daily Beast.
Yeah.
There's no other way to say it. Trump's Arpaio pardon is fascist.
Well, and then another person said that he pardoned him during the Houston hurricane so that he could just slide it in so nobody would notice. You know how timing's everything, that they said that he did that.
Well, people were going to
notice. On a Friday.
People were going to notice.
Of course, they were going to notice.
Tom in Deer Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that, he did this obviously to appease to his followers, the base, but also to grease the skids to get the followers, the base, accustomed to the idea of a pardon when Flynn and Manafort come calling, as well as Trump himself. It's in the Constitution, correct me, Dan? It's kind of silent if he could actually pardon himself.
It's silent on the topic, yes. So, okay, there's thanks for the call, Tom. I mean, there's speculation that this is signaling to others that
that he's got their back
if they're loyal, right? This is a special case, and this is consistent with a topic area that was central to Trump's campaign, wasn't it? And this is also consistent with the crackdown on sanctuary cities. And, even those who oppose the pardon and suggest that it falls on the rule of man over the rule of law side of things, suggest that there were things that were unclear. I mean, a federal district court judge ruled that Arpaio had flouted a judicial order.
Yeah. To stop targeting Latinos during traffic stops.
That's what they found. But it's worth noting. I mean, Arpaio basically saying there was some confusion about those orders and what couldn't be done, and there's
a lot of Latinos in
merit.
Arizona.
The Wall Street Journal opining opposed to the pardon, saying it's true there was some confusion as to what officers were allowed to do under state and federal law, because we've got this patchwork of federal and state law with respect to immigration and policing, and some of these are judgment calls. So I mean, I'll leave it there. Mike on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call. First off, God bless President Trump for backing the police and backing Sheriff Joe. I mean, the federal law says you have to cooperate with the federal authorities. That's what he was doing. There's some technicality on the way he enforced it, and some judge from out west didn't like it, and he didn't even get a jury trial. Let me tell you about the Ninth Circuit out there. They are the West Coast legal version of Lincoln Park Trixies. No other judge cares what they say. They're just trying to push their social agenda. This is a guy that was trying to make people safe. I mean, if you go look at, I know you were out there, Amy. I know if you go look at the jails, most of the people in the jails that he put in were the motorcycle gangs, were the white crystal meth dealers. But they go and they pick out a small minority and they go, oh, he's racist. He's got to go. I'm tired of the left and all their BS and their whining. They don't want to solve any problems. They just want a name call. And the rest of America is tired of it too, and that's why you lost, and you're going to lose in another year, and you're going to lose in 3 years. You're just going to keep losing. You're going to be the new version of the Cubs.
Well, I mean, yeah, very funny. But a lot of people were saying that, criticizing the way he runs his jail. Oh, he makes inmates wear pink, and they're outside in tent cities in the heat. I went to that jail. Those inmates, I've spoke to them. I talked to them. They love that they're outside and not in a tiny little cell. And they don't, I mean, they were just, people are nitpicking. And the reason also, too, I think while Arpaio was targeted by the by the Obama administration is because he had that birth certificate posse. Do you know that? Where people would volunteer and try and figure out whether or not the birth certificate was legal.
That was unfortunate, but so was arguably so was the prosecution of Arpaio and the alacrity which the DOJ prosecuted that case. Casper in West Chicago, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, good morning, Jane and Amy.
Morning.
Good morning. I think your Arpaio is now at the same level of the illegals, because when one illegal broke the law and get caught, he got deported, and he came back again, he go to jail. And I think George Arpaio must go to jail because he was caught broken the law. And if Trump wants to pardon him, why he don't pardon the illegal?
Okay,
I think
thanks.
it's the same level of breaking the law, and Trump is just giving the message that he don't care about the rule of law, and he is breaking the law.
Thanks for the call, Casper. Appreciate it. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And don't forget, former Sheriff Arpaio, will be joining us at 7:07 here on AM 560, The Answer. Forecast for today, some clouds right now, some light showers earlier this morning, but we can't rule out a passing thunderstorm this afternoon, a high of 75. An evening shower in spots. And then tomorrow, sun, clouds, a passing shower, a high of 78. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. Inbound Canada traffic's heavy from the River Road toll to Canfield. The exit to Irving Park is still closed. There's a major fiery overnight wreck involving a truck near Montrose. Everything relocated at Irving Park exit ramp, which is still blocked. But it's just 23 minutes O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 35. Delays are from Costner to the airport and westbound 190. Stop and go from the Kennedy to Manheim. Eden's just a little heavy inbound approaching the junction. Outbound, about a 3-minute delay, Peterson to Oakton after a crash. The Eisenhower's 46 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 33 to Stevenson. Heavy. First Avenue to Pulaski after a crash. It is an hour and 2 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 38 minutes. Ryan from 95th to downtown is 25 minutes. I-57, Bishop Ford, both 21 minutes from I-80 to the merge. Northbound Tri-State slow Plainfield Road to the Hinsdale Oasis. The Adams always tight from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Dan Proft here with an important message for Chicagoland business owners. If you own or rent your building, chances are that you're paying more than your fair share of property taxes. Ask yourself this question. If you could lower your property taxes with the help of licensed professionals who have an 80% average success rate, yes, you heard that right, an 80% success rate, lowering business owners' property taxes, would you do that? Corporate Valuation Advisors has reduced their clients' property taxes on average by 20% over their 25-year service history throughout the greater Chicagoland area. Here's a Corporate Valuation Advisor's recent property tax savings success story from a local Chicago business owner. Their first year of property tax savings equaled $26,265. The total 4-year property tax savings equaled $104,679. Call Corporate Valuation Advisors. They can help. 630-923-5371. That's 630-923-5371. You can also find them at yourfairtax.com or visit 560theanswer.com and look for the Corporate Valuation Advisors banner.
Synthesis Technology Corp seeks qualified professionals for the following positions. Lead software engineer front end, responsible for ongoing design, implementation, and maintenance of front-end architecture of web-based financial services automated publishing solutions. Lead software engineer back-end, responsible for ongoing design, implementation, and maintenance of complex back-end server-side architecture of web-based financial services automated publishing solutions. Both positions require a bachelor's degree in computer or information engineering or technology, and 5 years of progressive post-degree experience in the job offered. Send resume to Synthesis Technology Corp., 135 South LaSalle Street, Suite 2025, Chicago, Illinois, 60603. Attention, Jay Altman. Once again, send resume to Synthesis Technology Corp., 135 South LaSalle Street, Suite 2025, Chicago, Illinois, 60603. Attention, Jay Altman.
When Hurricane Harvey struck Texas and the Gulf Coast over the weekend, the world turned upside down for children and families in its path. When disaster strikes, children suffer in unimaginable ways, and Save the Children is there to meet their unique needs. Even now, Save the Children is in Texas and along the Gulf Coast, making sure hurt and frightened children impacted by Hurricane Harvey get the help they need. To care for and protect children has been the mission of Save the Children for nearly 100 years, so when tragedies like Hurricane Harvey strike, they're prepared and they're on the ground for children and their families around the world and right here at home. Your $50 right now to Save the Children will deliver essential supplies for families forced to evacuate, including hygiene kits, blankets, portable cribs, and strollers. Children are counting on us. Call 888-248-0312. That's 888-248-0312. Or give online right now at savethechildren.org/radio.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, it's Criminal Justice Week, and we're going to be talking about all issues related to criminal justice reform. But right now we're talking about some of the actions that President Trump has taken. We were talking about the pardon of former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio, and then also Friday, the rather pronounced resignation, or perhaps termination, depending on which coverage you believe, of Sebastian Gorka.
Sebastian Gorka.
Borden Balazi. Nobody does a Henry Kissinger impersonation like Sebastian Gorka except me.
Okay.
But Gorka...
he needed to go.
I guess he's a former Breitbart. He's a Breitbart loyalist. He worked for Steve Bannon at Breitbart as a international relations columnist.
But he ripped on Rex Tillerson, remember? And you don't make disparaging comments against cabinet members.
Well, he...
and think you can get away with it.
He went bigger than that on his way out the door. Here's what Gorka had to say about his departure from the administration.
He said, I'm going to fix the economy, build the wall, and defeat ISIS. That's MAGA. That's what making America great again really means. And unfortunately, I don't want to go into the, palace intrigue stuff, because we've had too much of that. But the fact is, the forces of MAGA, the Make America Great Again faces, the policy people like Steve Bannon, my old boss inside the White House, have been systematically undermined, many of them fired from the NSC. And I realize after the president's speech this week on Afghanistan that he is not being well served. That speech was written by people for the president in direct contravention of everything that we voted for on November the 8th. It is not clear why we're in Afghanistan. It doesn't explain why we're going to continue to potentially expend American lives and American money in that nation. And the most important thing, Matt, it didn't mention once the phrase radical Islam or radical Islamic terrorism.
Well, you can agree or disagree that Gorka should have gone, but I'm a little concerned the military-industrial complex is reasserting its authority in the Beltway, inside the Beltway. I'm a little concerned that they're going to prevent some additional draining of the swamp. And I agree with Gorka about both the Afghan policy to escalate, meaning I disagree with it, as well as his failure to mention radical Islam. That was noteworthy. Now, Rexon was on over the weekend, the Sunday Talkies as well, and he responded to Gorka's criticism.
Sebastian Gorka, in his resignation letter to the president, wrote this about the Afghanistan speech. The fact that those who drafted and approved the speech removed any mention of radical Islam or radical Islamic terrorism proves that a crucial element of your presidential campaign has been lost. Is Gorka right?
No, I think he's completely wrong, Chris, and I think it shows a lack of understanding of the president's broader policy when it comes to protecting Americans at home and abroad from all acts of terrorism.
So that's Rexon. You can have a difference of opinion but still be in the regime because you don't want to fall prey to groupthink. I'm not so sure there shouldn't be some voices of dissent about neocon escalations of wars that we've been engaged with for 16 years, regardless of what the president ultimately decides.
But Gorka undermined Tillerson.
No, he disagreed with him. That's
well,
different.
Publicly
disagreeing, publicly disagreeing or internally disagreeing is different than undermining. Disagreeing is being honest. Undermining is doing things surreptitiously to weaken someone. Gorka was out front. That's a different thing. Disagreement is not a bad thing. Groupthink is much more dangerous than disagreement inside any administration. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream. And coming up, should veterans be allowed to attend four-year universities? You might think that's an obvious question. It's not. Not today. Not in 2017 America.
And later, abused dogs and cats now have representation in the courtroom. But first, let's go into the newsroom and say good morning once again to Mike Scott.
Morning, everyone. 66 degrees. Harvey continues to crawl back into the Gulf of Mexico. National Hurricane Center says the tropical storm that made landfall Friday as a Category 4 hurricane has sustained winds of 40 miles an hour and continues to drop heavy rain on Houston and the suburbs. Hundreds fleeing devastating flooding have arrived by boat, bus, and by foot to Houston's George Brown Convention Center.
Could be worse. You know, I could be still stuck in South America. At least I'm back in the United States. Figure it out.
Indiana's Task Force 1 water rescue team is heading to Texas to help victims of Tropical Storm Harvey. Their coordinator is Jay Settergren.
The weather is changing by probably the hour or sooner.
That group left Sunday. They'll be in Texas for several days. President Trump plans to lift the ban on extra military gear being distributed to local police forces. The Navy says they found and identified the remains of all 10 sailors from the missing USS John S. McCain after their collision last week with an oil tanker. A Denver cheerleading coach is out of a job after video surfaced showing him forcing young cheerleaders down into the splits. The superintendent of the Denver Public Schools says that coach, former Chicagoan Ozell Williams, has been let go. Illinois' top lawmakers say they're on the same page when it comes to paying for schools in the state. Now it's time for rank-and-file lawmakers to follow their lead as the Illinois General Assembly returns to work later today. Bears top the Titans in the NFL preseason, 19-7. Phillies cut down the Cubs, while the White Sox fold the Tigers 7-1. The news is a service of Napa Auto Parts. This month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores, the Napa Legend battery comes with a prepaid Visa card worth $15 by mail. So start every drive with a Legend. Save yourself some money with a Napa Legend battery. 6:34 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
And finally, here's a way you can save time. Use Spot Hero anytime you park downtown. First-time users can enter promo code CITY for $10 off. Spot Hero. Park smarter.
Message and data rates may apply.
Attention, it is illegal to text and drive. So if you're experiencing hair loss and you want a permanent solution, please pull over now, because an incredible offer that could give you your hair back is just one text away. Bosley is America's #1 hair restoration expert, always pioneering the latest technology. And now we're giving everyone who texts GROW to 543-543 an absolutely free information kit that reveals just how easy and affordable this permanent solution really is. Don't wait. When you text GROW to 543-543, we'll also give you a gift card for $250 off. Millions of men and women have come to Bosley for a permanent solution to hair loss. So pull over now and see for yourself how great your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit. Text GROW to 543-543. Plus, get a free gift card. This amazing offer is just one text away. GROW to 543-543.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with a 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
It is 6:36. Let's get a check on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. And here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the Edens Expressway inbound, traffic is heavy from Toohey to Montrose. 21 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 22. On Kennedy, 34 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. The exit to Irving Park is closed after a major overnight wreck. Outbound 16 minutes to Montrose, 51 to O'Hare. Westbound 190 is bottled up from the Kennedy to Manheim. Inbound Eisenhower delays start at Wolf, 51 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 41. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 52 minutes from the Tri-State, outbound 36 minutes to 355. Ryan is 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State delays are from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Eastbound Adams Tollway slow from the Tri-State to the Kennedy. Traffic, service of Rogers and Hollins. A milestone birthday or an engagement, a new baby or promotion. At Rogers and Hollins, you'll find the perfect collection of jewelry for every life celebration. Come start your story and forever remember your moment. Use promo code FOREVER for 10% online. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm, and a high of 75 today. An evening shower in spots. Clouds may break overnight for a little bit of clearing, 63. We'll start the day tomorrow with clouds and sun, with more rain in the forecast for the afternoon, and a high of 78. Currently 66 degrees at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
Freedom Summit Chicago 2017 is coming to the Westin Chicago Northwest in Itasca on November 11th. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com.
Good morning, Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carroll Stream. Joe Cotton Ford, our lead car dealership sponsor, our signature car dealer sponsorship for the Freedom Summit coming up November 11th, Amy.
Yes, and you can stop by the dealership this morning. Come on over 175 West North Avenue and enter to win tickets to Freedom Summit. It's going to be great. Our keynote speaker is Dinesh D'Souza, also appearing. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North. Larry Elder's going to be there. Dan Proft. I don't know, if Dan, if you know that Dan Proft's going to be there as well.
He's very good.
So come on, stop by Joe Cotton Ford to enter a chance to win tickets to Freedom Summit, or you can go online at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com.
I want to pick up on the frankly, the battle for culture, freedom, integrity, honor in our society. This comes to us from the University of Colorado at Colorado Springs, and it prompts a question: should military veterans?
So is this Colorado State?
University of Colorado at Colorado Springs.
Okay.
Yeah. Should not the Rams,
right?
The Buffaloes.
The Buffaloes
at Colorado Springs. Should military veterans be allowed to attend four-year universities? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Do you think I'm embarrassed that I have to ask that question? I am. But the only way to drive home where we are in 2017 America is to regale you with these stories, from the solar eclipse being racist to the question of whether military veterans should be allowed.
What are they afraid of? PTSD? What are they? What's the catch?
They're not worried about veterans from the perspective of veterans' interests. No. This is part of a Social Justice Collective Weekly in the newsletter, and there is a real thought piece by Terry Steinowitz in which, and I won't presume gender because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, please.
The author offers this. A 4-year traditional university is supposed to be a place of learning, of understanding, of safety and security. However, there is an element among us who may be frustrating those goals. You know who you are. Military veterans. And here's why.
You're trying not to laugh.
Here's the problem with you military veterans. Many veterans openly mock the ideas of diversity and safe spaces for vulnerable members of society. This is directly in contradiction to the mission of UCCS, University of Colorado Colorado Springs. Many veterans say they, quote, do not see color, unquote, but the author dismisses the claim as untrue because of their, quote, socialization into the military culture that is that of a white supremacist organization. So this will come as a surprise, I'm sure, to many minorities who are military
Serving
veterans.
In the military? Yeah.
But, this is why we have deep thinkers on college campuses to elucidate these complicated topics for us.
Because they're disciplined. That's scary to them because they're afraid that they're not going to respect safe spaces. And now they're part of the Klan.
White supremacist organization, they were not specific.
Okay.
Don't put words in their mouth.
Okay.
Veterans typically have an overwhelming presence in the classroom which distracts other students, particularly vulnerable individuals such as LGBTQI2SAA.
You're not making that up.
Who have been known to be the butt of insensitive jokes made by many veterans.
You're making that up.
Veterans also usually associated with extremist right-wing groups such as the Tea Party and the NRA. And in order to be a safe space for all students, extremist right-wing groups must be suppressed on campus. This would include their followers, military veterans. So Social Justice Collective Weekly at yahoo.com if you want to fire off an email in support of this kind of groundbreaking thinking, and the important questions that's being posed as to whether or not veterans should be even allowed to attend 4-year universities in America. The fact that they fight and die and protect
are
America,
willing to die for the freedoms of our country.
So that Social Justice Collective Weekly authors can pen their deep dives into modern American culture is, of course, lost on them. And this article comes to us from Campus Reform, which is a great outlet covering all the nuttiness on college campuses.
Have any military veteran groups responded to that insidious and crazy article that was written? Or are they just going to let that one go?
I assume they're not responding because it's unworthy of a response, but I wanted to at least bring people's attention to it because they think these are onion stories. When you talk to people in your social, you think this is silly. These are onion stories.
Or this is fake news.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not. A related story. You think this stops at Confederate statues, do you? Catholic school removes Catholic statues and teachings to be less Catholic. This is the San Domenico School, a Dominican Catholic institution in California.
Didn't I call that? I said religious statues and figures are going to be next.
Yeah, but this is being done by the school. This is being done of their own volition, and so you knew this was a long time in the coming, and they're using Charlottesville as the predicate to do it because you've got these social justice Catholics that are preach Catholicism for Catholics who hate Catholicism. Removed a majority of its campuses, 180 religious statues and icons. The San Domenico School. The explanation, of course, get ready for it. It doesn't sound dissimilar from the Social Justice Collective Weekly author, articulating the inclusive foundation. In our time. This is wait. I'm reading. Here's the head of the school, Cecily Stock. San Domenico is both a Catholic school and an independent school. But we were finding after doing some research is that in the broader community, we are known as being a Catholic school. Maybe San Domenico has something to do with it. And are not necessarily known as an independent school. We want to make sure that prospective families are aware that we are an independent school. We welcome people of all faiths. It's an effort to be inclusive of all states, removing of all faiths, is said the Prioress General of the school in defending the removal of all statues. Here's something else that was said. And this from the Director of Religious Studies for the middle school. Mm-hmm. You think these affiliated schools, sectarian schools, are insulated from the poisonous culture? The Dominican teaching philosophy is not to teach there is only one truth. Well, really, the Dominican teaching philosophy then is to not teach Catholicism. The Dominican teaching philosophy is to reject the Nicene Creed. I mean, that's the church's profession of faith. This is an incredible statement. And it's additionally ironic, as I'm sure some will understand and others may not, because this goes back to 13th century Catholicism when the church had lost its way. This is just so interesting. The throwing out the statues of Dominic and Francis. Mm-hmm. In the early 13th century, the church and the clergy had become corrupt. The laity was lax and disengaged, and that's when Catharism, which is a dualistic Gnostic philosophy, believing that anything earthly was bad, arose. And then into the world came Francis and Dominic, and they essentially revitalized the church by restoring people's understanding of the faith to which they identify. And so now what you have 7, 8 centuries later is this all repeating itself. And so who are the Francises and Dominics of the day? And you think this is just limited to, churches and schools and institutions.
Well, did you hear what happened in Memphis, Tennessee?
What's that?
A theater there canceled Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
After receiving complaints that the film is quote-unquote insensitive. So the 1939 film, which is a classic, which is a must-see, audience members had called and complained. They said that they had received numerous complaints that stemmed from a screening on August 11th. So it has been dropped from the summer movie series for next year because it was too insensitive.
Right. Right. I mean, so this was my point. So public squares, right? Mm-hmm. Catholic schools voluntarily erasing their history and their faith. And then, but it won't come to books and movies. It won't come to the arts, will it? Of course it will. Of course it will.
They said their mission is to entertain, educate, and enlighten the community.
Yeah.
And they didn't mean to be insensitive to a larger segment of the local population. That was the quote that they had.
So with Gone with the Wind, then, should we also call on the Hollywood to rescind Hattie McDaniel's Oscar?
Oh.
Shouldn't we?
You know what? Don't give them the idea. Why are you talking about that?
Shouldn't we erase Hattie McDaniel's acting career?
Yeah.
For those who don't know, she won Best Supporting Actress for her role as Mammy in Gone with the Wind. She was a great African-American actress. Yes. So is that part of history, or does that have to be expunged too? It gets complicated, doesn't
it? There's 8 Academy Awards that were won by the cast of Gone with the Wind.
Pete in Indian Creek, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Amy. As a 20-year veteran of the U.S. Navy and a person who observed the first GI Bill when the veterans came back from World War II and completely changed the face of America, I don't understand how this idiot could be a professor or a paid employee of any university.
Thanks for the call, Pete. Well, thanks to your service. That idiot gets to say whatever they want in this country, and that's a good thing. So the question is not the idiots. The question is the people of good sense who allow the idiots to impose their will. That, to me, seems to be the bigger question at present. Annie in Lakeview.
Oh, thank you for taking my call. Good morning. Well, there's two things: the truth and why they don't take veterans. Because mostly they're white, and white are supremacists, white are Nazis, white are whatever. Not, you know what they say about about whites. And another thing, the truth. The Catholic Church is going against our Constitution. We have a problem. I'm Catholic. I have to follow the Constitution because the Constitution is based on truth. Truth is Christ. Christ said he was the truth. He said he was witness to the truth to Pontius Pilate. Pontius Pilate asked him, what is the truth? We have self-evident that these truths, in our Constitution, it says these truths are self-evident, that man is, I can't remember, but all man is created equal,
Yes.
liberty. You could quote the Constitution.
Yes, Annie. I know where you're going, and you make an excellent point. Thank you for the call. Dan and Amy, coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Keith Peters in for Lou Dobbs. Assessing Hurricane Harvey's impact, President Trump ready to begin tax overhaul, and Sears economic woes are worrying suppliers. Those stories next.
If you have unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-804-7445. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, don't let the IRS trick you into thinking you have no way out. Our highly accredited tax professionals will let you know what you qualify for and how much you can save. We may be able to stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and see if you qualify for this taxpayer relief at 800-804-7445. 800-804-7445. That's 800-804-7445. Community Tax. Who's your tax guy?
Businesses along the Texas and Louisiana Gulf Coasts are still feeling the force of Hurricane Harvey's powerful winds and flooding from torrential rain. In addition to localized damage and revenue losses, Harvey forced the shutdown of refineries along the Gulf, and that's already impacting the price of gasoline at the pump. President Trump is heading to Missouri at midweek to start selling his plans to overhaul the tax system. The president will say that lowering rates of both and business taxes will spur faster economic growth. Sears, which announced last week it is closing even more stores, is having trouble stocking some shelves because vendors are demanding stricter payment terms as a hedge against default. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Keith Peters for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Upstream-ideas.com. It's our digital platform with original content that complements what we do each morning on Chicago's Morning Answer. Long-form interviews in our Against the Current series. This week featuring a discussion on race in America with Charles Thomas and Mays Jackson, the morning show hosts over at VON, and yours truly. So that should be very engaging. As well as our new series, Heart of the Matter, which is professional women speaking colleague to colleague about the salient issues of the day and their impact on families. Follow the Logic Man on the Street segments, still focused, featuring the Man on the Street interviews about single-payer healthcare. 60 Seconds of Sanity from yours truly. 2-minute warning from Pat Hughes, the Illinois Opportunity Project. And our Illinois Rising podcast. That's the program that covers state policy and politics. You can hear Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
You love your trees. They're a primary source of beauty that greatly increases your property value. But damaged limbs and trunks due to weather, insects, and age can make trees a serious liability to your property and neighbors. Access Tree Service has the proven experience to evaluate your tree's health and decide if pruning or removal is the best option. They excel in all aspects of tree removal, tree trimming, stump removal, hedge care, plus stone and mulch to beautify your property. With over 40 years of combined experience and a staff of licensed, bonded, and insured arborists, they provide proof of insurance prior to starting your job and focus on the safety of your valuable property as priority number one. And thorough cleanup is guaranteed. Call Access Tree Service today for your free in-person on-site estimate, 708-279-7602, or visit accesstreeservice.com. Access Tree Service, Southern Chicagoland's trustworthy tree service, 708-279-7602, or accesstreeservice.com.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
Do you know the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers? We do. Do you know how to make your logo come alive and magnetically attract new, long-lasting customers? We do. And do you know how to ensure your logo is delivered on the right promotional items on time at a great price? We do. 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Who are we? We're 4imprint, the nation's leading team to make your logo shine on your choice of thousands of promotional items. And right now, we want to share with you, for free, the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers. Discover them now by texting TOP to 642-642. Let us show you what a difference the right promotional items can make to help grow your brand. With 4imprint, you'll get high-quality products, exclusive items, popular brands, on-time delivery, and outstanding customer service. That's what we do. Discover the top 3 promotional items for driving new customers by texting TOP to 642-642. That's TOP to 642-642.
What do you call charging thousands of dollars for hearing aids? I call it outrageous, because hearing should not be a privilege for the rich. It's a basic right everyone deserves. Hi, I'm Dr. Cherukuri, board-certified ear, nose, and throat physician. If you or a loved one suffer from hearing loss but can't afford thousands for a hearing aid, I created MD Hearing Aid for you. A high-quality medical-grade hearing aid for a fraction of that price.
Try MD Hearing Aid at home, risk-free for 45 days. Call 1-800-300-0868.
No costly doctor's visit. No expensive and time-consuming fittings or appointments. No ugly, old-fashioned hearing aid that costs thousands. MD Hearing Aid is an FDA-registered, audiologist-tested hearing aid that's discreet and lets you hear what you've been missing at a savings of more than 80% off the average price of a traditional hearing aid.
Try MD Hearing Aid risk-free for 45 days. Call 1-800-300-0868. Plus, you'll get free shipping and free batteries for a year. 1-800-300-0868.
Does how you feel interfere with your lifestyle? Take control before it does. Harvard Medical recently published a paper on how to decrease your risk of cancer, heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes, bowel and vision problems. The answer, backed by dozens of studies, is not vitamins. It's eating more fruits and vegetables in their whole, complete form. 4 simple tips that I've used with my patients over the years are: 1. Keep fruits and vegetables where you can see them readily. 2. Get crazy. Explore the produce aisle and choose something new. 3. Make it a meal. Try new recipes that include more vegetables and fruits. And the easiest of all, to get the complete nutrition of 31 different fruits and vegetables every day, take Balance of Nature.
What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gevalis, Joshi, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, presidential pardon. Former Sheriff Joe Arpaio joins us at 7:07. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Lawmakers returning to Springfield today for a school funding debate. Chicago gang member on the FBI's most wanted list, nabbed in Mexico. 2 bicyclists struck by a vehicle on Lakeshore Drive during the weekend triathlon. Cloudy skies, WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. It's a life-saving mission in Texas. I'm Dave Anthony.
People need help,
and we are working to provide it.
Elaine Duke is acting head of Homeland Security.
Today, we are deeply concerned with those in Houston and surrounding areas who are stranded or in need of immediate assistance.
Thousands have already been rescued from the flooding, some taken off rooftops by helicopter, others needed help by neighbors with boats. Many streets and highways, now streams and rivers. Fox's Eben Brown is live in Waller County, about 45 miles northwest of Houston.
And Dave, you can't get close to Houston if driving from Austin. Highway 290 shuts down in Waller County. Patrick works at the Waller County Line barbecue truck stop.
Where I'm from, it's like a little bridge. I think the little bridge is overflowed right now, so I can't get into where my house is, so I had to just take shelter at work.
Yeah, but it's worse down in Houston. The Addicts Reservoir is now over capacity, and first responders have been waking up people who live nearby, ordering them out. They're going to intentionally let water out and flood the area to prevent containment failure and an even worse uncontrolled flood, Dave.
But many of those rescued are now in shelters.
We're anticipating over 30,000 people being placed in shelters temporarily.
FEMA Administrator Brock Long.
I'm asking for all citizens to get involved here. Donate your money.
He says teams from all over the country are coming to help. President Trump will go to Texas tomorrow. Harvey is still a tropical storm, barely moving to the southeast. It's dumped up to 30 inches of rain already.
There's about 15 to 20-inch rainfall still forecast.
National Weather Service Director Louis Uccellini says Louisiana will be getting some of that rain, too. A very different flooding at sea. The U.S. Navy said today it found the bodies of all 10 sailors killed when their ship collided with an oil tanker last week off Singapore. The 10 were found in flooded compartments of the warship. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Skies are mostly cloudy, 66 degrees at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer, good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Illinois' top lawmakers say they are really on the same page when it comes to paying for schools in the state. Now it's time for rank-and-file lawmakers, they say, to follow suit. After Sunday meetings at the Capitol, the Illinois General Assembly returns to full-time work today. Lawmakers are expected to begin the process of approving a new plan to pay for schools. There are still stumbling blocks in this new revised plan. Republicans will not like the hundreds of millions of dollars that bail out the Chicago public schools, while Democrats will have major issues with a scholarship tax credit included in the plan. One woman is being questioned after 4 children were found living in neglectful conditions on Chicago's northwest side. Police say the discovery was made during a well-being check at an apartment in the 6700 block of West Irving Park Road. Siblings are hospitalized for evaluation. 2 bicyclists are in stable condition. They were struck by a vehicle on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago as police say a woman drove around traffic cones near Waveland Avenue and then hit the victims, who were participants in the Chicago Triathlon. Illinois will allow authorities to prosecute out-of-state drug dealers for deaths caused by their sales under a new measure signed by Governor Bruce Rauner. The new law, named after Evan Rushing, who is a southwestern Illinois man. The bill's sponsor says he died of an overdose after buying drugs from a St. Louis dealer. Bears topped the Titans in the NFL preseason 19-7. All is not positive, though. Top wideout Cameron Meredith, perhaps done for the season with a ACL injury. Phillies beat the Cubs 6-3. White Sox topped the Tigers 7-1. Dustin Johnson beat Jordan Spieth on the first playoff hole to win the Northern Trust. The news, a service of Napa Auto Parts with quality parts and more than 90 years of experience. Napa Auto Parts can help you keep your car on the road all summer long. Stop by your local Napa store. Keep it running longer, stronger with Napa know-how. 7:04. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
See filmmaker and the best-selling author of Hillary's America, Dinesh D'Souza, on Saturday, November 11th at Freedom Summit 2017 at the Westin Chicago Northwest in Itasca. He'll be appearing with Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North. Also appearing, radio talk show host Larry Elder, Joe Walsh, Dan Proft, and Amy Jacobson. Tickets are on sale now at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by Best Dental Group.
In business, risks and rewards come with every decision, like moving to the cloud with Office 365.
While its benefits include anywhere access and lower costs, cyber threats and user errors can quickly wipe out data and the money you save. Barracuda Essentials for Office 365 provide an added layer of security and functionality for threat protection, email migration, data recovery, and quality of service. Move securely to Office 365. Visit barracuda.com/essentials to learn more.
There's nothing like it. The smell of a tailgate, the chill in the air, the roar of the crowd. The only thing better than game day with your favorite team is when it all ends with a win. Touchdown NIU. Hear it all right here on the Husky Sports Network.
The Huskies take on Boston College this Friday night, September 1st at 8:30. Get ready for another great season of NIU football right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. Every day people ask me, Jay, did I miss out? Have the rates gone up? The answer is no. Rates are still low, and it's a perfect time to refinance your home, especially if your mortgage rate is higher than 4.25%. If you'd like to lower your interest rate and save thousands of dollars in interest without starting over on a new 30-year loan, a Quicken Loans Yorgage is what you're looking for. With our exclusive Yorgage, you can choose a term that works best for you, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. The rate today on an 8-year Yorgage is 3.25%. APR 3.75%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Number 3030.
7:06. Let's get an update on the roads. The Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound delays start at Niles Center Road. It's 29 minutes from Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 22. Inbound Kennedy, 41 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 17 from Montrose, 16 in the Express. The exit to Irving Park is closed after an overnight truck fire near Montrose. Outbound, 56 minutes to get to O'Hare. Don Eisenhower, 51 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. 36 from Manheim. Outbound 44 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. 49 minutes from the Tri-State. Outbound 43 minutes to 355. Inbound Ryan, 23 minutes. 95th to downtown. I-57, 21 minutes. I-80 to the merge. Bishopport, 17. Northbound Tri-State. Delays are from the 83rd Street toll to the Hinsdale Oasis and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Adams and Reagan tollways are fine. Veterans Memorial still fairly light. Northwest Indiana looks good. Today in Elmwood Park, Grand Avenue closes right in the heart of Elmwood Park. 76th Avenue to 78th for rail crossing work. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. The latest comes from meteorologist Michael Stack.
Cloudy for today with a few showers and a thunderstorm. Today's high 77, clouds breaking with a shower in spots late. Tonight's low 63. Tuesday, sunshine and clouds with a passing shower, high 78. I'm Michael Stack on AM 560, The Answer.
Officially 65 at O'Hare, 66 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan Proft, Amy Jacobson. Amy, there is a new protected class that is coming into vogue.
Mm-hmm.
You have any idea who that might be? What group of people that are being discriminated against, that are the source of untapped talent because of the institutional discrimination in this country?
The millennials?
No. No, it's not based on age.
It's not based on age?
It's based on personality. Introverts.
Oh, really?
Introverts. You know how on
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, coming to you from Joe Cotton Ford and Carroll Stream. We're going to talk to Tracy Kahn from Joe Cotton Ford at the bottom of the hour. But before we get to that, President Trump was in Phoenix last week for a campaign-style rally. And, of course, one of the topics that was on everyone's mind is what is the status of former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio, and what does the president aim to do about his criminal contempt citation? Here's what President Trump said at his rally.
He should have had a jury, but you know what? I'll make a prediction. I think he's going to be just fine, okay?
And, of course, it turns out that President Trump was foreshadowing what he did on Friday, which is to issue a presidential pardon.
And they're saying at the time that he didn't pardon him when he visited last Tuesday for safety reasons.
And Sheriff Joe Arpaio was on with our colleague Sean Hannity on Saturday night, and we're pleased to now have former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio on airwaves. Sheriff Arpaio, thanks so much for joining us again. Appreciate it. Do we have the sheriff? Well, here's what Sheriff Joe Arpaio had to say on Sean Hannity.
Well, it's great. I love that president. He supports law enforcement, and I'm very humble. If you recall, 2 years ago, I supported him, and I said publicly recently, pardon or no pardon, I will be with him to the end.
All right, that was Sheriff Arpaio. We're having a bit of a technical issue with him right now, so we're going to break, and we're going to try and effort Joe Arpaio, and we'll get him back, and we'll speak to Sheriff Arpaio right after this break. Dan and Amy coming
You've
to you
made
live
the
from
switch,
Cotton Ford.
and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Forecast for today, we're going to have sunshine, as you can see right now, but can't rule out a passing storm, a high today of 73 degrees. Then tonight, an evening shower in spots, and then for tomorrow, Tuesday, we're going to have some clouds and sun, another passing shower, but a little bit warmer, a high near 80 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center where there are no technical difficulties. Here's Jim Telemonte.
That's right. Everything's working, so we're happy this morning. Amy, good morning. Good morning, Dan. We're now seeing delays on the northbound Veterans Memorial Tollway, 355 from 75th to the Reagan Tollway, from Butterfield to Roosevelt, and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. And the northbound Tri-State has heavy delays, the 83rd Street Toll to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Edens is 23 minutes, like Cook to Montrose, outbound 29. Kennedy, 41 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. The exit to Irving Park is closed after an overnight wreck. Outbound 56 minutes downtown to O'Hare. Eisenhower, 51 minutes, Thorndale to the post office, outbound 44. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 355 to the drive, outbound 42 minutes. The Rhine is 23 minutes, 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
How would you like to have insurance for your computer network? Something to protect your hardware and software, and more importantly, give you peace of mind. Well, using Turnkey IT for installation and support of your systems is like having insurance for your computer network. For one affordable monthly payment, your company gets a full team of certified technicians who are there for you, working in the background to ensure your systems are up and running. They'll help you out over the phone and make house calls to your workplace. And Turnkey IT doesn't wait until there's an emergency call, because they work hard to take preventative measures, keeping networks secured, backed up, and running nonstop. Turnkey IT can protect your network with what's called the Turnkey Experience, where everything is included: Office 365 hosting, advanced network protection, cloud backup, disaster recovery, and sometimes we need that, and unlimited remote and on-site support. So find out what Turnkey IT can do for your company today. It's easy. Visit turnkey.pro. That's turnkey.pro. All right, I have to admit it was an eyesore, the chipping and paint peeling on our front and back porch. It looked awful, but thanks to CertaPro painters, the porch looks brand new. The painters who showed up were professional, respectful. They were done in just a few hours, and when they left,
the house looked brand new. They really are the best in the business, and it's not too late to book your exterior painting project. There are several spots open on CertaPro's summer schedule. Here's an idea. Let CertaPro painters transform your home while you're on vacation and return to a freshly painted house. They're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year, and so we invite you to experience the CertaPro difference. For a free estimate, call 1-800-GO-CERTA, CERTA, or visit CertaPro.com. That's Certa with the C. Get that painting project off your to-do list. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters, we do painting, you do life.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carroll Stream, and I think now we've resolved our challenges, and we have
I'm praying.
former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio on the line. Sheriff Arpaio, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
All right, Sheriff, great to have you. Thank you for making the time. So first, I just wanted to get your reaction to President Trump's decision to issue a presidential pardon on your behalf.
Well, you know, I was very humble at what he did. I never asked for the pardon, but I'm sure he knew that I was not guilty. This is a contempt of court. It started 60 days after Obama and Eric Holder took office, and here we are years and years later, and they get me on a contempt of court, a federal judge. So I have to thank him. I've been with him from day one when he first came here in Phoenix in July of 2015. I was up on a stage. I introduced him. I predicted that he would be our next president, and thank God that he is our president. So I'll be with him all the way, pardon or no pardon, until he leaves office.
So when you received that court order to stop allegedly targeting Latinos during traffic stops, was it clear-cut the information with what you were supposed to and what your department was supposed to follow?
No. One judge in a civil case, I'm not going to go into his tremendous bias. That'll be for another day. Pushed the alleged contempt of court to another judge that happens to be in the same building, of course. And that judge, after a 5-day trial, said I was guilty of contempt of court. There was no evidence in that trial, believe me, that my guys or I did anything intentionally violated any order. The Department of Justice under Obama started this investigation one day before early voting started, and then 2 weeks later charged me, and that was 2 weeks before you go to the polls, charged me with the wrong charge, would not give me a jury trial. You know, I can go on and on. So, well, that's the way it is, but we'll see what happens. I'm not done yet on this issue.
What do you mean you're not done yet?
Well, we'll see what my
civil action,
my legal problems. They're not problems. They're going away because of thanks to the president. But you know, I have to clear my name too. Everybody, the media is saying I'm guilty of racial profiling. There was nothing even in the court. No judge said that I was guilty of racial profiling. And so that's sad, too. And they call me a racist. Some politicians, the media, has nothing to do with that.
So you feel like former Reagan Labor Secretary Ray Donovan, after he was acquitted of federal charges, where do I go to get my reputation back?
Well, you know, I've been around a long time, been sheriff for 24 years, started my federal drug enforcement career in Chicago, 1957, when I was sworn in as a federal narcotics agent. 24 years as sheriff, joined the Army when the Korean War broke out, police officer in Washington, D.C., Las Vegas. I can go on and on.
And, you've had an accomplished career.
I still have my supporters, believe me.
Let me go to the mixed reaction. You kind of alluded to it, talking about certain politicians. Some have rallied to the president's decision. Arizona Congressman Trent Frank saying the president did the right thing. You've lived an honorable life serving our country. You deserve an honorable retirement. But others, your United States Senator John McCain, as well as Jeff Flake, disagreed with the president's decision, as did House Speaker Paul Ryan. What do you say to those who disagreed with the president's decision, like Senator McCain?
Well, I'm surprised that McCain. I stayed out of his race the past year, the last time he ran. What I say to these people is, why don't they drop a dime and give me a call? Why don't they let me say what I'm saying to you? Why? But I'll tell you what my gut feeling is. They want to get the president. Anything they can do to embarrass the president. And those are the people you just named. They want to embarrass the president. And they're using this as another reason to go after our president. And that's sad. He didn't do anything wrong. He's not a racist. Why do they keep calling him a racist? So it's sad. And when they say the Republicans are even opposed to this situation, what Republicans? So you got 3 or 4 or 5, the same ones that go after him for everything. So, we all should stick together. The Democrats, of course, nationally are making hay out of this. But why doesn't everybody stick together and help the president and get things done?
Did anybody from Holder's Attorney General's office take you to task for separating illegal inmates from those who are here legally? No, I don't separate. You mean separate in the jail system? Yeah, in the jails.
No, yeah, I separated the illegals, the ones in the tents, because it made it easy for the consul general to come in and talk to them. I got 7 jails. I put them all in one jail to make it easy for the Mexican government to talk to them. They should give me accommodation for that. What's the difference where I put them? So I did separate them. Not all of them. Most of those that were going to be deported, and it'd be easy to deport them. So why would I don't even know why I'm taking heat on that.
You've heard, I'm sure, many of the critics throughout the course of your career, particularly your role as Maricopa County Sheriff and the decisions that you made with respect to detaining people here illegally, as Amy was referencing, as you guys were just talking about. Michael Gerson, who's a Washington Post columnist, kind of a George H.W. Bush Republican, moderate Republican, suggested that that not only was your conduct as Maricopa County Sheriff the politics of dehumanization, but that what President Trump was really doing was pardoning himself because he practices those same politics. What do you have to say to critics in the D.C. press corps like Gerson?
First of all, I've been doing this before I ever met the president, or before the president was in office. I was doing this for years and years, where I had the authority to do it. The Obama administration swore in 150 of my officers, gave them authority to enforce the illegal immigration laws. And that's when all this started. And we did a good job. I'm very proud of it. When I do something, I don't just do it halfway. And we did arrest many, many hundreds of those in our country illegal. And most of them, of course, had state charges, too. We got them on other violations. So we had the authority under that 287G program that they call. And that's what allegedly got me in trouble. They didn't like it. They took my authority away. But I had state authority because they passed 2 state laws. So I'm enforcing the state laws and the federal laws. But
and do you consider what you were doing essentially an act of civil disobedience? I mean, some are suggesting that what the president did was reassert that the people, through their elected officials, are supreme to unelected federal judges. And effectively what you were doing was an act of civil disobedience, something that the left would normally call speaking truth to power, or, as I said, acting in a civilly disobedient way, in this context in enforcement of the law, but in contravention to a federal judicial order. How do you see yourself with that the conflict between state and federal that you're describing?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not a police chief. I'm an elected sheriff, and I have the authority to enforce the laws. The sheriff is the chief law enforcement officer for the county, and there is a separation there somewhat. I'm not going to get into legal where the judges overrule an elected sheriff, but that's a good point as to what their jurisdiction is. So, no, I'm the sheriff. Trying to do my job, protect the people of this county. Been doing it for 24 years. Of course, I was defeated after going for my 7th four-year term, but that was because of George Soros, a big billionaire, pumped in $4 million against me. And that's because the Department of Justice illegally charged me right before the day the voting started. So I had a lot of things against me when you keep telling the people I'm going to prison for 6 months. So it was all staged to get rid of this sheriff.
Well, are you sleeping easier at night knowing that, you don't have to go to that sentencing hearing in October?
Yeah, in a way, my wife, I married my wife in Chicago, by the way, 60 years ago. So I have a soft spot. You guys are in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, we didn't move to Arizona like you did.
A lot of Chicago people here, believe me, great people. Sure,
Well,
a lot of them voted for me down here, but it was a great present. It was my wife's birthday.
Yes,
Days
yesterday.
ago, when my lawyer brought the copy of the pardon, put it on my table, and my wife was very happy, and I still took her out it was a birthday. I still took her out for dinner. But I eat my spaghetti because
did you go
broke the
Dutch?
story, and I had tons of media calling me.
Yeah, no, I know. You mentioned that on Hannity. It was funny. You mentioned you stepped away from your spaghetti to talk to Sean Hannity, which was nice of you and very tolerant of your wife. When you talk about defending yourself and your reputation, obviously, I think you're intimating the possibility of civil legal action. But besides that, are you going to continue to be outspoken on this issue with sanctuary cities and sanctuary states, with right now what's going on at the federal level with President Trump potentially expressing a willingness to shut down the government over funding for a border wall? Are you going to engage on these issues?
To be honest with you, after I lost, I told my wife I'm out of politics, going to have nothing to do with it. And now I changed my mind a few months ago after this and what they're doing to the president. So I'm going to do everything I can to help the president. Anything he needs, believe me, I will help him. And that's the way it's going to be. So I don't know what my future is. When I left office, I didn't go fishing. I have no hobbies. I still have things in mind that I'm doing. So I'm not going away. They keep throwing my age out. It's always Joe Arpaio, It's always my age. I'll gun anybody, believe me. So that's the way it's going to be. I'm going to be vocal. I'm going to help the Republican Party. I don't like what the Democrats are doing, especially at me. I mean, he's talking about the war on me. They don't like this sheriff. And all these demonstrators, you talk about demonstrations. I've had thousands of people demonstrate against me in the last several years, all over the country. But that's okay. I'm a fighter, and I'm not going to give up. We have to take care of our country, take care of our law enforcement, our cops. And so I'll have a voice.
And we certainly wish you and your wife the best. Is there a defense fund that's set up to help you with all these legal costs?
Yeah, I got a fund that was set up, and I guess I'm going to go down in history as having to spend more money over a little misdemeanor. Think of this. I got the same charge. The penalty is the same if you have a barking dog. So think of that. All this for a misdemeanor, and they're trying to destroy this sheriff. And the problem is, I'm not guilty, so why should I not fight back if I can? But anyway, I have to thank the president. Now I don't have to go through, sentencing and all that, and give all those demonstrators that were in court every day with balloons of me, calling me racist in front of the federal building. I can go on and on. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for my deputy sheriffs. I'm doing it for law enforcement. I'm doing it for the people. So that's the way it is right now, Amy.
He is former Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Sheriff Arpaio, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
He's the best, and he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're at Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream, and we're going to talk to Tracy Kahn, Vice President and GM of said Joe Cotton Ford and Carol Stream at 7:37.
And which car is Dan going to buy me? But now let's go into the newsroom and say good morning to Mike Scott.
66 degrees outside, cloudy skies. There's no let up from the rain and the misery. Tropical storm Harvey keeps pounding on Houston and southeast Texas. The storm is unwavering in dumping rain and misery on that region, hovering, and rain that's being measured in the foot this morning. 2 deaths are blamed on Harvey. Harris County Flood Control and the Army Corps of Engineers getting set to release flood water from 2 reservoirs near Houston in a bid to better protect the city.
You do not want to have any type of failure of these reservoirs, so you have a controlled release where you control the water that's going out of the outlet structure.
Jeff Linders with the Harris County Flood Control District. Floodwaters are rising so rapidly in the reservoirs, they have to release water or the dams will fail. The Coast Guard working to release more helicopters to help rescue people from devastating floodwaters in the Houston region.
And we've already assisted on the air side executed over 200 rescue missions or rescues, and then also we have on the flood front side, they've actually rescued over 1,000 people at this time.
Forecasters are predicting Houston and the area could get up to 50 inches of rain before Harvey finally leaves. The Navy says the remains of all 10 sailors that have been missing from the USS John S. McCain's collision with an oil tanker have been recovered. Amazon slashing prices at Whole Foods. The lower prices at the health food store start today on a selection of best-selling grocery staples. Illinois' top lawmakers say they're on the same page when it comes to paying for schools in the state after a Sunday meeting at the Capitol. Now it's time, they say, for rank-and-file lawmakers to follow them back to work today at the Illinois General Assembly. Bears topped the Titans 19-7 in a preseason affair in Tennessee. Phillies cut down the Cubs 6-3. A 3-run home run from Matt Davidson. Lucas Giolito, his first big league win. White Sox over the Tigers 7-1. The news service of Napa Auto Parts this month at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. The Napa Legend battery comes with a prepaid Visa card worth $15 by mail. Start every drive with a Legend. Save yourself some money with a Napa Legend battery. 7:33 is our time. We'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Right now with Galaxy. Buy one cabinet, get one free. Visit us online at GalaxyHome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Mark Weingart, President and CEO of Star Creations, Inc., the fastest-growing supplier of wall decor products in the U.S. When it comes to banking, I don't want to be a small fish in a big pond. That's why I bank at Signature Bank Chicago. At Signature Bank, every customer is important. I know I can pick up the phone and talk to any one of the decision makers I know and trust at Signature Bank. At Signature Bank, they understand and respond to the unique needs of my business with flexibility and fairness. I'm proud to bank with Signature Bank because I know they're deeply invested in the success of Star Creations.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Discover Westmont, a community nestled in the heart of DuPage County. With top-notch schools, beautiful affordable housing, and excellent dining and shopping, Westmont makes a great place to live, work, and play. Choose Westmont. Discover how your business can flourish and grow with a wonderful central location providing rapid access to Chicago's key expressways, airports, and many family-friendly amenities. Add quick transportation on the Burlington train line, and that means simple and easy travel for everyone. Westmont is committed to working collaboratively with you to facilitate inquiries about your family or business relocation. We'll help your company navigate to Westmont for a great experience. Call Larry Forsberg at Westmont Economic Development at 630-824-9337. That's 630-824-9337 to find out about incentives that can help you plan your development, relocation, or expansion. Discover all Westmont has to offer. For more information, visit ChooseWestmont.com. That's ChooseWestmont.com.
7:35. Let's get an update on the ride to work this morning. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the inbound Kennedy, the exit to Irving Park is blocked after a major overnight truck fire and ongoing cleanup. The travel time O'Hare to downtown is 41 minutes, 17 from Montrose, 16 on the Express, outbound 55 minutes to the airport. Edens is 22 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 36. The Eisenhower, 57 minutes, Thorndale to downtown, outbound 54. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42 minutes. The Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Northbound Tri-State, bottled up from the 83rd Street toll to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Veterans Memorial heavy, Fountain to the Reagan Tollway, Butterfield to St. Charles, and from the Army Trail toll to 290. Traffic, service of your local Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram dealer. It's the Labor Day sales event at your local Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram dealer. Get incredible deals on the award-winning lineup. Don't wait. These deals will not last long. Hurry in. See your local Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram dealer today. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy, couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm today, high 75. Currently, we have 65 at O'Hare. Next news at 8. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Fly By Night with your host, comedian, and entertainer extraordinaire, Ken Severa. Saturdays at midnight on AM 560, The Answer.
If it hadn't been for Joe Cotton Ford, I'd still be driving a beautiful car. Now we go live to Dan and Amy, broadcasting from Joe Cotton Ford.
Dan and Amy, live from Joe Cotton Ford, is that terrible
That is
intro
awesome.
music from our technical producer, Justin. So indicates.
Yeah, because, every time I hear Joe Cotton Ford, I think of Cotton Eye Joe, the song. So on Friday, I suggested, hey, Eric and I thought, you know what, we should do a parody of Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah, and that turned out to be a terrible suggestion.
But it's growing on you. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. It is growing on me. It's so bad it's good. It's one of those. It's like Biz Markie or something singing Cotton Eye Joe. And also the reason we're at Joe Cotton Ford is not just because we like Tracy Conn and the Joe Cotton Ford folks and because they sell cool Ford cars and trucks, but also because they're a sponsor for Freedom Summit coming up November 11th.
Yeah, it's AM 560's biggest event of the year, Freedom Summit 2017. Tickets have just gone on sale. You know how I know that? My Aunt Linda in Nevada emailed me right away, and she loved the price point. It's a good deal. So go to Freedom Summit.
And she loves Larry Elder like your mom
She does, yeah. FreedomSummitChicago.com. That's where you get the tickets because you're not going to want to miss this event. We're going to have retired Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North will be there, Dinesh D'Souza, Larry Elder, as you mentioned, Joe Walsh, Dan Proft. I'll be there. It's going to be great. But tickets go on sale now, FreedomSummitChicago.com. But also stop by here, Joe Cotton Ford. The address is 175 West North Avenue in Carroll Stream. And enter for a chance to win a pair of tickets to Freedom Summit.
Right, and also you're now, as of today, taking invitations for 2018 proms.
Exactly.
So if people want to stop by to invite Amy to prom for next year, too,
I'm available.
You can queue up for that as well. So it's good that we're at a car dealership because it's about time we get you out of that rolling dumpster fire you call vehicle and into something that is roadworthy. And to help us do that, we're pleased to be joined by Tracy Conn, as the VP and General Manager of Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream. Tracy.
Tracy.
Great. Pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. And do you think it was a watershed moment in the history of Joe Cotton Ford when one of our favorite texter tweeters, Ann B. Davis's bowling ball, became an officially sanctioned patron of Joe Cotton Ford, bought a car from you?
I would say, yeah, that was probably our defining moment.
It's a big deal.
What did you fit up our favorite texter with? What kind of ride did he pull out of here?
He is driving an Explorer Sport, so it's 365 horsepower, all-wheel drive. Very, very nice vehicle, very nice riding, but very fast.
You know, that's. I think it perhaps will start a trend. I hope get you in a new car. Also, Sean from Elmwood Park, he drives around like in this girly cabriolet ragtop
that reeks of cigar smoke.
He needs to get into an adult male car as well. So other people who want to transition, if you will, into something that is more appropriate for adult males, this is a good place to come.
And when you say transition, you mean after kindergarten?
Yes, exactly. Yes,
Thank you.
Somebody listening to the show.
But how do you feel like his family atmosphere here? Because if you buy a car, it's personal. I mean, you're in your car for hours a day. Some people are in their car longer than they're in their beds.
So I guess it all starts from being a family business. Joe is my father-in-law, and so obviously I've
married
my
well.
wife,
No.
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. She's definitely my better half. So,
Yeah,
but anyway, we've kept everything in the family, and just recently, my daughter graduated from the University of Alabama. My son graduated from Ball State, and they both work for me now. So we try to keep it all in the family, but it's just a low pressure family business. A lot of people call us a ma and pa store, but if the shoe fits.
I love the banners that ring the showroom here, where you've got "I buy all my cars from Joe Cotton Ford," and then all these names signed underneath. That's the repeat customers is a testament.
Right. So there's over 1,000 names on these banners all around the showroom, and it's getting to a point now where it's almost looking cluttered because there are so many banners. But people want to be on there, and it's amazing when people come in, they'll say, well, we got to find my name so I can change my number. And so it's, as you can see, a lot of these have numbers crossed out and a new number put on.
Yeah. It's like trying to find my name at the brick pavers at Comiskey, where you've got all the people that...
You bought one of those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The big one or the small one?
No, small one. I mean, I'm not a big shot. I'm a small brick paver guy, not a big brick paver guy. But so tell us a little bit also, though, why Joe Cotton Ford thought it was valuable to get involved in sponsoring Freedom Summit and
So Joe came from Alabama, and he borrowed $100 to move up here, and he was told that money grows on trees in Chicago. So he came and he started selling cars, and eventually got to the point where he opened this store himself, and so he's always had conservative values, and we've won several awards for things that we've done in the community. And he's always believed that you give back, but always had conservative values. And I love your show. I listen to it every day.
We love you.
Thank you.
And so
we love you more.
Yeah.
I said it first.
Yeah, right.
So I thought that this was the right thing to do.
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting. When I ran for governor, we rented a car. We essentially leased a car from Joe Cotton Ford.
To put your face on it?
No,
and say vote for me and drive it all
No, I
through
didn't
Illinois?
shrink wrap it. I was trying to get votes. So didn't shrink wrap it. But yeah, so that was my real first exposure, and it came and Joe let me speak to the employees here, and it was just great. I mean, just good people, and it's fun to do business with good people and be kind of have a mutually beneficial relationship with people that are fellow travelers, if you will.
Yeah. And your key sponsor of our Freedom Summit 2017. And why did you decide to do that?
It was, as I said, just the conservative values. I love what you guys do, and it just felt like the right thing to do. I'm a big fan of the Freedom Summit, and can't wait to be there. I hope I get front row seats again. And
I think we can arrange that.
Yeah.
Michael Mann's here. Maybe we can make that happen. Yeah. Okay, done. Hey,
yeah.
you got your front row
there we
seat. See, there you go.
You also get an autographed picture, so there's that benefit of the sponsorship, too. And it's not as nice as the McAllen's 15, you got me. But, we try. I mean, we're not in the Joe Cotton stratosphere. Any possibility that you'll just pick up this piece of property and move it to Alabama, like so many other businesses
or
in Illinois?
Indiana or Wisconsin?
I just don't see that in the cards.
What is it like, though, doing business here in scenic DuPage County in God's country?
So probably the biggest thing right now, as you've probably seen all over the areas that you travel for, even getting to your station. A lot of the mechanics are on strike.
Oh, yeah.
And we're not.
A few doors down from our station, they're on strike. Yeah,
Exactly.
You guys are not on strike.
We are not on strike. I pay my guys $2 over union scale. I give them 401k, insurance, good benefits, and but I never want to be on strike because if I sell a car to somebody, I want to be able to service it, and so that's why I do these.
Yeah, what are those dealerships doing? I have customers that can't get their cars fixed, so
I
writing them out
can't really speak for them.
IOUs, I wonder.
I don't know. I can't speak for them. I can only speak for me.
Well, so that's interesting, though. I mean, it's an important point that the choice that you guys made. This is your business model is to have, frankly, a premium compensation package that engenders loyalty, so you don't have these potential disruptions.
Absolutely, and you know, and no union dues, no meetings. It's just the whole thing. Our employees are happy. I mean, we have a lot of employees who've worked here for a long, long time, and so much so that the Daily Herald actually wrote an article about the fact that we have so many employees who've worked here for so long, and that is part of the reason.
Yeah. How many employees do you have, and how many mechanics? And
I have 63 employees, 17 mechanics, 5 service writers, and then 4 body men.
Happy employees. AM 560 should consider that management approach. What do you think about that? Oh, no, I'm kidding. Of course. I'm ecstatic.
Hey.
Every day.
So I really want you to pull up that minivan. What's it? Because you know what I need. I need.
I know what you need, but what you really need is a
9
flex.
people. I need a flex.
You need a flex.
She doesn't know what that is, so you're going to have
I'm
to.
flexing.
Yeah.
I need a flex.
Right. So explain why Amy needs a flex.
Yes.
I mean,
because she's tall. I'm sure Peyton and Eli are going to be very tall.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And there is a lot of room in the back seat, and there's 3 rows of seats. And I just think that would fit you well. My wife could drive anything she wanted to drive, and that's what she chose to drive when we did all of our trips to Alabama and even all the college seeking and my daughter going to the Junior Olympics and all that. It was what she preferred to drive, and it's just a comfortable road car, and it has plenty of room. And it's
now,
Junior Olympics, real quick. Which event?
Pole vault.
Okay.
It's a way to stay focused on the car.
Yeah.
If I can negotiate on her behalf, can I get you to throw in the rust roofing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there a DVD player in those?
Yes.
Really?
Headrest DVDs.
So actually,
Really?
Yes.
So advanced.
But please stop negotiating on your own behalf.
What about
DVD
automatic
player.
lights?
Yeah.
That thing that these people have.
Can you throw in the automatic doors? Can you throw in the remote start? Can you throw in everything that every car's had for the last decade?
I don't think she could handle that. She was intimidated by the push-button start.
Yeah.
I know, I'm like, that's
yeah.
a push button start.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Right.
I like to have a key.
Right, of course.
Uh-huh.
But
you have
but seriously, when you have to deal with customers like Amy, this is important. Like,
you have to be patient because I'm not privy to all this technology.
No, right.
I mean,
it's secret. How could you find out this stuff? The bedside manner here, like, kind of. It's important to, I think, note that this isn't the cheap salesman talk. It's not the cartoonish caricature of the car salesman, right? But describe your approach when a customer walks in the showroom.
Well, we are very low-key. We're not high-pressure. And I think that's part of the reason a lot of our salespeople have been here. We have a set of brothers that have both been here over 30 years. And it's because we treat them well, and we expect our customers to be treated well. So it's just low pressure, fair pricing, nothing flashy. We don't have the gorilla on the roof that's up there, and we just do business the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, it's great. Love it. Tracy Kahn, Vice President, General Manager of Joe Cotton Ford, helping Amy get into a roadworthy vehicle this morning, one of our charges here at AM 560. Tracy, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Plenty of sunshine right now, a high today of 75 degrees, but we can't rule out a quick afternoon thunderstorm. Tonight, an evening shower in spots, and then tomorrow we're going to have partly sunny skies, a passing shower, a high near 80 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy. Metro has a delay on the Rock Island line due to a mechanical issue on train 604, so ensuing trains will pick up passengers. Edens, 22 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 36. Kennedy, 55 minutes O'Hare to downtown. The exit to Irving Park still closed after an overnight truck fire. Outbound, it's 55 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, 57 minutes. Thorndale to the post office. 42 from Manheim. Outbound 54 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 4 minutes. 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 42 minutes. The Rhine is 22 minutes. 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive now heavy. Irving Park to North Avenue. Northbound Tri-State. The delays are from Harlem most of the way to 31st. And from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue Curve. Reagan Tollway slow York to the Tri-State. The Veterans Memorial. Delays are from Boughton to the Reagan Tollway. Butterfield to St. Charles. And from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Northwest Indiana looks fine. And Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
We're never going to meet these deadlines.
We need to staff up, and fast.
How are we going to find the number of people and the quality of work we need?
I've already made calls to several industrial staffing companies, and I think ClearStaff is the best choice and right in our budget.
Keep talking. Tell me more.
ClearStaff provides a realistic full staffing plan and a live customer service rep to take your calls 24/7. This gives you the assurance that any staffing issue will get resolved quickly. Every manager knows that communication is the key. Short staff and call-offs are unpredictable, but with ClearStaff's responsive customer service team, they can take appropriate measure to get you the people you need to get your job done. The labor market is very tight right now. ClearStaff can provide current data for any area in the greater Chicago market. For larger companies, they can also provide on-site supervision and web-based time and attendance systems. ClearStaff.net is an industrial-strength staffing provider. Staff up today at ClearStaff.net. That's ClearStaff.net.
You are about to hear from Dr. Douglas Howard.
After 20 years and tens of thousands of success stories, Balance of Nature is still the only pure whole food supplement available. Balance of Nature has served more than 500 million servings of fruits and vegetables. Don't accept imitations, copies, or substitutions. Our success stories are unique to Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. You'll know you have the real thing when you open the bottles and see, smell, and taste real produce.
It is worth every penny I pay because they really have made such a difference in my life. It is making me feel a whole lot better.
Even my doctor thought it was a good product.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code CHICAGO.
The Ford Summer Sales Event is in full swing, and even though summer's almost over, there's still time to save with a brand new Ford from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream. Hi, it's Amy Jacobson. My family and families all over Chicagoland are getting ready for back to school and all the after-school activities. To help keep up with the busy school year schedule, you need dependable transportation with plenty of room for sports equipment, musical instruments, and all those friends. Joe Cotton Ford is ready to help you find exactly the right vehicle that fits your lifestyle and your budget with no hassles, no drama, and no high-pressure sales tactics. Just what you need for another successful school year. At Joe Cotton Ford, your satisfaction is their top priority. That's why they're one of the highest repeat customer dealerships in Chicagoland, working with generations of Ford buyers and their families. Whether they're buying their first vehicle or their 14th, be ready for another great school year. Get to Joe Cotton Ford and drive home a new Ford car or truck today. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. joecottonford.com.
All that extra weight is messing with your health, your sleep, your social life, even your love life. Time to take control. I'm Dr. Frank Marticello, and that's exactly what I did. I always worked out, worked hard, and no matter what I did, I couldn't lose that weight. I then saw a picture of myself, and that's what did it. I had to search for a solution. I found the ideal method. I lost 80 pounds, opened Total Life Weight Loss, and that was 9 years ago, and I've kept it off. Listen to this.
I hated being on meds needed only because I was overweight. I was tired of being tired and wearing black all the time. So I turned to Total Life Weight Loss. It was truly a life changer. Total Life Weight Loss gave me support and strategies to get rid of the weight and maintain my new current weight. I love the way I look and feel.
This is a medically developed protocol that helps you lose weight fast, get healthy, and keep it off for life. Call Total Life Weight Loss now at 708-695-5999 to book your free metabolic assessment or attend one of our free educational workshops. Again, that's 708-695-5999.
Hi, I'm Todd Pals, owner of Homewood Bat Company, a top-quality baseball bat made right here in the Chicagoland area. Homewood Bat Company is all about using the best in materials and craftsmanship to create a truly remarkable baseball bat. I've been a client of Precision Payroll for a number of years, and when I started the Homewood Bat Company, I wanted them on my team. From working with me when I had 1,200 employees at another company, and now with less than 50, their service has been exceptional and their value is unrivaled. You want more runs in the game? Give Homewood Bat Company a look. You need a home run for your business? Precision Payroll should be the next call you make.
Thank you, Todd. It is so cool to see you make Americana. Precision Payroll would like to go to bat for you. Call me at 630-242-1507. That's 630-242-1507. Or on the web at precisionpayroll.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
If you're young and healthy, you don't need life insurance, right? Yeah, that's what I used to think too, until my brother died at 38. Joe left his wife with 2 kids, a mortgage, and a stack of bills she couldn't pay. Mary had to sell the house and move everybody into this tiny 2-bedroom apartment just to make ends meet. I never want to do that to my wife, so I got life insurance. I called AIG Direct and was really surprised how affordable it is. Just $14 a month for $250,000 of term life coverage. Listen, if you have a family, you should seriously think about getting life insurance. You'll feel a lot better having it, trust me.
Call AIG Direct for a free no-obligation quote. The call takes less than 5 minutes, and you could save up to 70%. Call now, 1-800-700-5593. That's 1-800-700-5593. 1-800-700-5593.
Cancellation fee may apply, subject to eligibility. Not available in Alaska, Missouri, and Washington. Waiting period and deductible apply. Coverage provided and administered by Warrantech Corporation or its affiliates. Not affiliated with any manufacturer or dealership. Visit TocoWarranty.com for complete terms and conditions. You look stressed.
My car broke down. I just got a quote for the repair. I don't have that kind of money.
You don't have a vehicle service contract from Toco?
What's that?
Well, you know how drivers have auto insurance to protect against accidents? Well, this is a monthly service contract that protects against costly repairs. If it's covered in your policy, they pay. When my transmission and air conditioner broke, the Toco plan paid the whole thing. They dealt with a licensed mechanic, took care of the bill, they even paid for my car rental. And all Toco plans are backed by an AmTrust financial insurance carrier.
It must be expensive.
Not at all. There wasn't even a down payment, and I've already saved hundreds of dollars on repairs, not to mention the stress.
Protect yourself from the expense and stress of unexpected repairs. Call today for your free quote. 800-276-3316. That's 800-276-3316. 800-276-3316.
AM 560. The Answer.
Who let the dogs out?
Good morning, Dan and Amy. This is not funny. You've got pets that are stranded in Houston. You've got Otis, the German Shepherd, that's become a national sensation. That was the dog that was photographed carrying his food bag around.
I mean, what dog does that? Dogs they see food and they eat it. That's discipline. I love that dog. But there's also another dog who jumped in the back of a storm chaser's car. The water was rising, and he just instinctively, the window was open, he jumped right in the SUV, and the storm chaser drove around with this dog. It was the cutest. Facebook Live did okay, so I've watched Facebook Live for the first time because an animal was involved. Yes, I did.
Well,
and they returned the dog to his owner.
Well, there's actually a law in Connecticut. New York Times did a profile on it this weekend against the backdrop of what happened in Houston. There's a law which essentially you have guardian ad litems, sort of, where you have independent legal counsel representing the interests of a child, for example. Now they're doing that in Connecticut for animals. Groundbreaking law, according to David Rosengard, a staff lawyer at Animal Legal Defense Fund. This is about reinforcing prosecutors' efforts to prosecute animal abuse cases, essentially. And
the Democratic state lawmaker who sponsored the legislation said they're innocent and they don't really have a voice, and they are, quote unquote, a little weaker than you are.
Did you ever see the movie Red with Brian Cox?
No.
That's how cases of inhumane animal conduct against animals, animal abuse, should be prosecuted. It's a good movie. You should see it. You kill my dog, I kill everybody, which is what my reaction would be if Hayek was abused by someone.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer,
we're going to talk to Dinesh D'Souza about the culture war at 8:08.
And the Freedom Summit that's coming up. But first, into the newsroom we go. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, lawmakers are returning to Springfield today for a school funding debate. 4 children found in neglectful conditions on Chicago's northwest side. Major Chicago gang member on the FBI's 10 most wanted list arrested in Mexico. Bears' Cam Meredith suffers a season-ending injury, potentially, while the Phillies beat the Cubs. WIND Chicago News Time, 8 o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. More help is on the way to Texas. I'm Dave Anthony.
Right now, in addition to search and rescue, the next objective is to stabilize disaster survivors.
FEMA Administrator Brock Long expects 30,000 people in shelters as first responders from 15 states help, and the U.S. Navy sends in helicopters to assist in the search. Boats are being used, too, to navigate streets turned into rivers. This man's nervous about still rising water in Houston.
If this gets any worse, we're probably going to have to evacuate.
In some areas, it's getting worse this morning.
The Army Corps of Engineers releasing water into the bayou behind me. The reason why is that Houston is protected by a system of reservoirs and bayous that keep water out of downtown. Well, those are at capacity, so they're going to have to make the tough decision to flood some of the neighborhoods to spare the entire downtown of Houston being literally underwater.
Fox's Griff Jenkins in Houston. The flooding extends far from there. Fox's Evan Brown's 45 miles away, live in Waller County.
Yeah, Dave, the rain falls here, too, and it's back just in the past few minutes, and already I can see rivers along the road shoulders, and it's creeping up back to the white lines. Last night along this highway 290, the business route, there was at least a half a foot of moving water, enough to make you think twice about driving forward, even in an SUV. And with rain falling yet again, it's likely that will happen later this morning, too. Along the sides of this highway, it's a bunch of flood-ravaged homes and small businesses with obvious water lines, Dave.
And Evan, Tropical Storm Harvey still barely moving, could dump 20 inches of more rain. The Navy's found the remains of all 10 sailors killed when a warship collided last week with an oil tanker off the coast of Singapore.
All 10 of the missing sailors were found inside flooded compartments aboard USS John S. McCain. It's the second deadly crash of a U.S. warship since June and has top Navy leaders scrambling to answer questions from Capitol Hill.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson at the Pentagon. Fox News, fair and balanced.
Cloudy and 66 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Illinois' top lawmakers say they're speaking from the same book when it comes to paying for schools in the state. Now they say it's time for rank-and-file lawmakers to do the same. The Illinois General Assembly returns to work today. Lawmakers are expecting to start the process of approving a new plan to pay for schools. Democrats say they may have issues with a scholarship tax credit. Republicans do not like the hundreds of millions of dollars that will bail out Chicago public schools, primarily pensions. One woman is being questioned after 4 children were found living in neglectful conditions on Chicago's northwest side. Officers made that discovery yesterday during a well-being check. The siblings were taken to the hospital for evaluation. A Chicago gang member on the FBI's 10 most wanted list is in custody following his arrest over the weekend in Mexico. The man captured by Mexican federal immigration officials in Guadalajara. Chicagoans coming together after white supremacist graffiti was discovered in a Lincoln Square neighborhood. In one instance, the words "diversity is white genocide" were spray painted on the grounds near Waters Elementary School. Bears topped the Titans 19-7 in a preseason affair in Tennessee. Good work by both quarterbacks. However, top wideout Cameron Meredith had to be carted off the field with what is believed to be an ACL injury. Phillies cut down the Cubs 6-3. White Sox beat the Tigers 7-1. The news service of Hum by Verizon. You have places to be, and the side of the road is not one of them. With 24/7 emergency and roadside assistance, a certified mechanics hotline, and more, Hum by Verizon is the technology that connects you to your car. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. 8:04 time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, insurance companies are prepared to absorb the claims from Hurricane Harvey. MarketWatch says the insurance and reinsurance business, which covers its losses, have money on hand to meet their obligations. Still, Harvey is likely to make insurance cost more for people in and out of Texas. Private storm insurance is separate from the National Flood Insurance Program, which is expected to be inundated with billions of new claims. You'll be paying more for gasoline because of Harvey. Gasoline futures are higher this morning. Gasoline supply is shrinking because so many Houston area refineries are shut down. There's a merger of companies working on treatments to fight cancer. Gilead Sciences will pay $11 billion for Kite Pharma. Kite is working on technology that uses the body's immune system against cancer. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:05 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
For 22 years, he served his country in the United States Marine Corps, including a tour of duty in Vietnam. He earned 2 Purple Hearts, a Bronze Star, and a Silver Star. And this year, on Veterans Day, retired Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North is coming to Chicago for Freedom Summit 2017, November 11th at the Westin Chicago Northwest. See Oliver North, Dinesh D'Souza, Larry Elder, and many more. Get your tickets at freedomsummitchicago.com. That's freedomsummitchicago.com. Sponsored in part by healthinsurancementors.com.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans. If you're in the market to buy a home right now, you know how challenging it is out there. You're competing against cash buyers, so it's critical that you work with a reputable, established mortgage company like Quicken Loans. By getting pre-approved with us, sellers will know that you're serious and ready to close when you make that offer. Here's one more way to get the home you want. You could buy a $150,000 home with as little as $1,500 down with our 1% down payment option. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 3.99%, APR 4.19%. For 7 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation for customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. And for the 4th year in a row, they've also ranked us highest in the nation for mortgage servicing. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org, number 3030.
8:06. Check the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim.
Thanks, Mike. On the Edens inbound, it's heavy Cicero to the junction. 21 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 36. Inbound Kennedy, delay started at Nagel. 56 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 33 from Montrose, 32 in the Express. Exit to Irving Park is closed to clean up an overnight wreck. Outbound 52 minutes downtown to the airport. On Eisenhower, an hour and 3 minutes, Thorndale to the post office. 45 minutes from Manheim, outbound 50 to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 46 minutes. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 23 minutes, I-80 to the merge, Bishop 420. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, heavy Irving Park to North Avenue. Southbound Tri-State, slow 120 to 137. Northbound Harlem to Hinsdale Oasis. Ogden to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Adams Tollway heavy lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway from York to the Tri-State. The Veterans Memorial, Alton to the Reagan Tollway, Butterfield to St. Charles, and from the Army Trail Toll to 290. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Michael Stack.
Today, mostly cloudy skies with a few showers and a thunderstorm. Today's high 77, cloud scene breaking with a shower in spots late. Tonight's low 63. Tuesday, clouds and sunshine with a passing shower, high 78. I'm Michael Stack on AM 560, The Answer.
65 at O'Hare, 66 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
Choose M13 Graphics for all your business brochures, postcards, flyers, and more. Order online at m13.com or call 877-613-1913.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Top O of the morning, Dan and Amy, and we're broadcasting live this morning from Joe Cotton Ford in leafy Carroll Stream, Illinois, DuPage County.
Oh, yeah, heavenly,
back,
God's country.
Back home. And the reason we're here is because Joe Cotton Ford's a great business, and also because Joe Cotton Ford is one of our signature sponsors for the Freedom Summit coming up November 11th, which features a number of renowned and profound thinkers.
Yeah, it's our biggest event of the year, Freedom Summit 2017, and tickets have gone on sale. Go to freedomsummitchicago.com. But the reason why you're going to want to buy these tickets, we have author and filmmaker Dinesh D'Souza, also appearing retired Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North. Larry Elder will be there. I heard Dan Proft's going to be there.
He's very good. It's good stuff.
He's the best. I mean, really,
I
you're
enjoy
gonna,
his work.
You're going to want to see Dan Proft. But go to freedomsummitchicago.com. And also, please stop by. We're here at Joe Cotton Ford this morning, here until 9 o'clock this morning. Address is 175 West North Avenue, Carroll Stream, and enter for your chance to win tickets to Freedom Summit. And also stop by and say hi. Pick up yourself a car.
And now we've got somebody who's going to stop by and say hi remotely, but nonetheless, he just was mentioned as one of the premier appearance at Freedom Summit. He is Dinesh D'Souza, noted author and filmmaker and academic. We've had him on the show before, and I always recount I first became aware of D'Souza. He was like a zygote, and he had written his first book called Illiberal Education. He was speaking on the campus of Northwestern University, where I was an undergrad behind enemy lines, and been following his career and his work for the ensuing 2.5 decades. So it is always a pleasure to talk to Dinesh D'Souza, who joins us now. He is the author of the new book, The Big Lie, Exposing the Nazi Roots of the American Left. Of course, this stands to be another New York Times bestseller. Dinesh, thanks for joining us again. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to be on the show.
So I guess the premise of your book is somewhat self-explanatory, but the historical context is important in these times. So paint the premise of your latest offering.
Well, we saw this starting in Charlottesville, but also earlier with Trump's election, this whole campaign, a frenzied campaign to portray Trump as a fascist, to portray the Republicans, the conservatives, as the neo-Nazi party. And behind this is a very big idea that fascism and Nazism are supposedly on the right. And so this book is a challenge to that. And it not only shows decisively that fascism and Nazism are on the left, they're essentially ideologies of massive centralized state control. But moreover, there is a deep and sordid history continuing to the present that links, if you will, the Democratic Party and the progressive left with fascism and Nazism. For example, I expose in the book that George Soros, the kingmaker of the Democratic Party, the funder of the so-called anti-fascist or Antifa movement, actually has direct ties to Nazism. He was a sort of Nazi collection boy in World War II. He would go into Jewish neighborhoods, confiscate Jewish property, turn it over to the Nazi regime. Now, this is not my opinion of the matter. Soros admits it, and he also admits that he has no regrets about it.
So what has he done with the items that he's collected, and how did you find out that information?
Well, there's a very revealing interview just a few years ago with Steve Kroft of CBS News. It was a profile of Soros, and almost incidentally in the interview, Steve Kroft said to Soros, "Hey, Soros, isn't it true that when you were a teenager, you and a bunch of other guys would go into Jewish neighborhoods, confiscate Jewish property, and turn it over to the Nazi regime, which ruled at that time Soros' native country of Hungary?" And Soros acknowledged that he did that. And when he was asked, he was obviously a young man then. I'm not so much faulting him for what he did then. What I'm faulting him for is when Kroft says to Soros, "What do you think now about what you did?" Soros basically says, "Listen, all that bad stuff was going on anyway. I didn't create it. I merely took advantage of the situation." So think of the deep amoralism of this. I mean, if anyone in the Trump administration had this kind of direct tie to Nazism and was unrepentant about it, there would be a media uproar. But interestingly, Soros is being protected by the left. I mean, no articles in NPR, no exposés in the New York Times. It's almost as if Soros gets a pass because he's their favorite Nazi.
One of the points of order on the issue of Nazism and fascism generally is, and we had this actual discussion last week with Alan Dershowitz, is that in order to be a fascist, you need the complicity of intellectuals, because fascism rolls everything up into the state. And so Trump, even if it were his inclination, just for the sake of argument, he can't be a fascist because he doesn't have support and control in academia and the arts and Fortune 500 boardrooms. All of these civic institutions that become the state in a fascist state. And one of the points that's lost about the rise of the Third Reich is it was intellectuals. It wasn't the banality of evil argument that Hannah Arendt makes about ordinary Germans folding in. It was intellectual leadership. There's books, one I'm thinking of in particular, I think Ingraio is the author's name, Hitler's Intellectuals, that talks about essentially those leading lights of civic institutions that were responsible in part for what occurred in Nazi Germany.
Well, you're quite right that while the leading philosopher of the 20th century, Martin Heidegger, was a member of the Nazi Party and a supporter of Hitler. But I think the broader point you're making is very profound, and that is that what is most dangerous is not the fascism of the street, not even these Antifa thugs who, even as of yesterday, were beating up people at Berkeley. The real fascism, the dangerous fascism, is the fascism of the institutions, by which I mean the media, academia, Hollywood, the whole world of entertainment. Now, the Nazis had a term called Gleichschaltung, which basically means coordination. It means bringing the whole society into line with a single ideological perspective. And we have Gleichschaltung in America. It's called political correctness. The guys at Google who will throw you out if you don't conform to sort of, you may say, company ideology, the Hollywood bosses who will drive you out of that town, make sure you never work again, the deans who control billion-dollar endowments. These are the truly dangerous people because they have real power. The neo-Nazis and ragtag white supremacists in Charlottesville, they have no power.
Well, and just picking up on that point, you know, the Martin Heideggers versus the Martin Niemöllers, and who are you in this society, right? What's particularly disturbing to me is those who are voluntarily folding in, like this Catholic school that made news out in California, San Domenico, that's removing all of its Catholic iconography, its statues and whatnot, to be more inclusive, essentially renouncing its faith. I mean, the bulwarks against totalitarianism, family and faith, and we seem to be, in certain quarters, renouncing the importance of those institutions.
Yes, I think we see here the power of the left in culture. I mean, Trump won the election. The Republicans may control 2 out of the 3 branches of government, but the real power of intimidation is on the left. And so it's media, it's Hollywood, it's comedians. Look at the way that Trump is slayed on every platform. Now, what I find ironic is these same people keep calling Trump an authoritarian. They say he's a fascist like Mussolini. Now, if it was really Mussolini ruling America, he would send his black shirts into the New York Times. They would shut the place down in 15 minutes and take it over. That's how real fascists act. So the charge against Trump is fake. It's bogus. And that's what I mean when I use the term the big lie. The big lie is the transfer of blame for the people who are actually carrying out fascist tactics and who actually have a statist fascist ideology, transferring the blame or the responsibility for fascism onto the Republicans and onto the right, which is actually the anti-fascist party.
Now, recently you spoke to a group of college students and conservative students to keep up the fight, and you believe that they will win. Why?
Well, these young people are kind of a subversive force in academia, and nothing breaks up political correctness better than the sort of disinfectant of truth, but not just truth, but truth carried out in a kind of bold and creative way. So I was trying to encourage these young people not to sort of mindlessly submit to the cultural orthodoxies that are being rammed down their throats, but to be sort of creative rebels, even guerrillas of a sort, undermining these orthodoxies and making space for free speech and for different points of view.
How concerned are you about talking about a little bit about the banal politics of D.C., but important nonetheless? It's certainly part of the cultural fight. How concerned are you about some of the transitions in terms of staffing around President Trump? Are we starting to see the institutional interests, the men and women of always reassert themselves in the Trump administration, and the possibility of quote-unquote draining the swamp go by the boards?
I'm less worried about that than I'm worried about the sort of complete kind of invertebrate response of so many Republicans. Look at all the Republican leaders who have basically, responded to Charlottesville by condemning one side and, in effect, endorsing the left's narrative that the left's own violence is in a sense, not something that can be blamed on them. Trump's instincts were right. Trump goes, listen, I mean, I see some bad guys on this side. I see plenty of bad guys on the other side, too. There's a lot of violence coming from both sides. But a lot of Republicans are intimidated by the press. They know that the press has the power to humiliate. And so, as a result, they become weak-kneed, and they tend to surrender, if you will, to the leftist cultural narrative. And I'm glad to see that Trump is not one of them.
Speaking of the leftist cultural narrative, it seems to be getting mainstream. There's a piece in the Chicago Reader you may be interested in. Obviously, it's local, so may not be familiar with it. But it's this hagiographic piece on Chicago Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa, who is a outspoken, identified member of the New Democrat Socialists of America, and the Chicago Reader, which, as you would suspect, is way left. Goes on in glowing terms to talk about the rise of the Democrat Socialist movement of America, its new invigorated status with the Bernie Sanders campaign and everything that's flowed from that. What do you see on the horizon for the Democrat Party in the 21st century with so much of the young progressive left attracted to just basically outright socialism and feeling comfortable enough that it's popular enough that they can so identify?
Well, the remarkable thing is that fascism grew out of socialism. Mussolini was a socialist. He was the editor of the Italian socialist weekly called Avanti. And fascism essentially is national socialism. In fact, that was the name of Hitler's party. It fused nationalism with socialism. So what's kind of ironic is that today we're seeing, if you will, fascist ideology resurrecting itself in a new guise. And of course it is, as the fascists were on the left. This is we also mentioned the media, the Chicago Reader. I almost had to read twice in the Washington Post today. There's a headline which basically says violent Antifa protesters beat up nonviolent Trump protesters. And I had to look twice because it's so rare to see in a mainstream newspaper an actual acknowledgement that the violence is coming from the left. Then I turn to NPR and I see the telling phrase, violence erupts at Berkeley rally. Now, violence erupts is the media's typical phrase when the violence is coming from the left. It's treated like the violence is a volcano. It just erupts. No one actually causes it. It just erupts. So that's NPR doing what NPR does best, which is camouflage the truth.
He is Dinesh D'Souza, the new book, The Big Lie, Exposing the Nazi Roots of the American Left, and he's going to be in Chicago at our Freedom Summit on November 11th. You can get tickets at freedomsummitchicago.com. Dinesh, thanks so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
And if you want to see Dinesh D'Souza live at our Freedom Summit 2017, tickets have gone on sale through freedomsummitchicago.com. But come here to Joe Cotton Ford right now. Get in your car and head down to 175 West North Avenue in Carroll Stream for your chance to win free tickets to Freedom Summit Chicago. Forecast for today, cloudy skies, a couple of showers and a thunderstorm, a high of 75 degrees. Tonight, an evening shower in spots. And then tomorrow, we're going to have mostly sunny skies, a few clouds, and a chance of a passing shower. Warmer, a high near 78 degrees. Let's now get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center and see where the hot spots are on the roadway. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Amy and Dan, the inbound Kennedy delays start at Nagel. It's 56 minutes O'Hare to downtown. The exit to Irving Park is closed after an overnight wreck. Outbound, it's 52 minutes downtown to the airport. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 35. The Ike, an hour and 3 minutes, Thorndale to downtown. Outbound 50 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes, 3:55 to the drive. Outbound 46 minutes. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State southbound slow 120 to 137. Northbound Harlem most of the way to 31st. And from the Reagan all the way to the Grand Avenue curve. Veterans Memorial delays are Boughton most of the way to St. Charles. The Army Trail toll to 290. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content on our digital platform that complements what we do each morning on Chicago's Morning Answer. Long-form interviews are Against the Current series, featuring this week a discussion on race in America with Charles Thomas and Maze Jackson. They are the morning drive hosts at WVON in Chicago, as well as a podcast of our Illinois Rising program covering state policy and politics, which airs on these airwaves Sundays at 3 p.m. My 60 Seconds of Sanity commentaries, Pat Hughes from Illinois Opportunity Projects, Dollars and Cents commentaries, Man on the Street, Follow the Logic segments this week on single payer, people's logic and support or opposition to single payer health care, as well as our new series, Heart of the Matter, which features professional women speaking colleague to colleague about the salient issues of the day and their impact on families and household budgets in particular. It's all at upstream-ideas.com.
When Hurricane Harvey struck Texas and the Gulf Coast over the weekend, the world turned upside down for children and families in its path. When disaster strikes, children suffer in unimaginable ways, and Save the Children is there to meet their unique needs. Even now, Save the Children is in Texas and along the Gulf Coast, making sure hurt and frightened children impacted by Hurricane Harvey get the help they need. To care for and protect children has been the mission of Save the Children for nearly 100 years. So when tragedies like Hurricane Harvey strike, they're prepared and they're on the ground for children and their families around the world and right here at home. Your $50 right now to Save the Children will deliver essential supplies for families forced to evacuate, including hygiene kits, blankets, portable cribs, and strollers. Children are counting on us. Call 888-248-0312. That's 888-248-0312. Or give online right now at savethechildren.org/radio.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
Oh, I had my joints all ached. My sciatic nerve was really bad. Like 10 hours, my eyes were so tired and heavy and almost burning. And then when I woke up in the morning, there was this nagging pain. I mean, it hurt to open them. And just in a week, I don't have the nagging pain anymore. My joints stopped hurting, and I'm in wood season. I'm lugging wood right now, and I'm not hurting. So that's, amazing for me. I'm usually really suffering. It's pretty effective. And so now, like I said, my husband and I are both taking it, and he even said his joints aren't aching as much, and he's feeling better.
Good health is only a phone call away. What are you waiting for? Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Acme Home Insurance.
Yes, I'd like to make a claim.
What are you wanting to claim, sir?
My air conditioner broke down.
Sorry, but your home insurance doesn't cover air conditioner breakdowns.
So what do you cover?
Home damage from things like earthquakes, volcanoes, a zombie apocalypse.
A zombie apocalypse? But that'll never happen.
But if it did, you'd be covered, sir.
But not my air conditioner?
I'm afraid not.
But his air conditioner could have been covered with a home warranty from American Home Shield. We cover major components of air conditioners, plus 20 other home systems and appliances, like electrical systems, plumbing, refrigerators, and more. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-6096. Homeowners insurance can cover what might happen.
Zombies are coming!
But a home warranty helps cover what will happen.
Now the dryer won't work.
Be sure with the Shield. American Home Shield. For valuable free information, call 1-800-400-6096. That's 1-800-400-6096. 1-800-400-6096.
AM 560. The Answer.
Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carroll Stream. A lot of reaction to our Dinesh D'Souza interview. Let's take a couple calls right quick. Daniel, Lake in the Hills, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, hey, thanks for taking my call. One immediate support of Dinesh D'Souza is that every leftist supports Planned Parenthood, and Planned Parenthood, as we know, is based on eugenics and the idea of preventing society from being overrun by poor people and minorities.
Yeah, Margaret Sanger, that's exactly right. When's that statue come down? Thanks for the call, Daniel. And not just unfortunately
protected.
Not just unfortunately the left, also Republicans without the moral courage to defund Planned Parenthood, as was the promise, as was Paul Ryan's promise with respect to this looming showdown over the budget, and whether Planned Parenthood will still, on some indefensible reason, continue to get $500 million of everybody's money to ply their gruesome business. Sean in Elmwood Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Paul Ryan's promise. That's nothing a campaign contribution can't fix. Listen, Dinesh D'Souza is exactly correct, as always. The problem is they're all degrees, DEFCONs of statism, each and every one. But so is national populism. I wish we'd stop pretending that it isn't, and we need to solve that, too. And by the way, you're at Joe Cotton Ford. Is that manager listening? I want him to do me a favor. Grab a roll of quarters out of his pocket, go outside, throw it in the middle of the street, and fire every one of those striking mechanics. You're fired.
No, they're not striking
They're
here.
not striking here.
Sean, you should listen to the
Yeah.
show. They're not striking here because he treats his employees well.
Hey,
I got a Boston Terrier, knows lefty, loosey, righty, tighty, and can upsell a cabin filter.
He can't fire people that don't work for him, number one. Number two, Sean, let me try and explain this to you. In terms of your, but there's all these other problems too. Try and explain this to you in terms you'll understand. First,
here we go. Talk down to me there with your whale on your shirt.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, that's what I'm going to do because I need to. First,
All right, go ahead.
you dispatch the White Walkers, and then you can argue about who sits on the Iron Throne. You get it? Thanks for the call, Sean from Elmwood Park.
Is it? And Sean will be on today from 5 to 7. He's filling in for Joe Walsh.
Well, good. He can he can respond to that after he's been given about 7 hours to think about it and see if he can assimilate that simple comparison.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to our friend Sean Frazier, Associate VP and Director of Athletics at NIU, the Huskies, about the upcoming football season. Are they going to have one?
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh, okay, good.
And they will be effective. I can't believe it's football season already. But first, let's go back into the newsroom and say hello to Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, good morning. Good morning, everyone. 66 and clouds outside. President Trump moments ago approving an emergency declaration for the state of Louisiana. The White House saying today the president signed off on that declaration, ordering FEMA to coordinate disaster relief in that state. Meantime, in Texas, another 1,000 National Guard troops are heading to Houston to help with flood relief. Governor Greg Abbott announcing he's sending in those troops to join 3,000 Guard members already on hand. Houston Police Chief Art Acevedo says first responders in that city have their hands full.
We've had 2,000 rescue missions with the police department itself, and we have about 230 left. And we're just hopeful that sometime today we'll be able to finish all those rescue missions, and then we'll go in towards a search mission to see if there's anybody inside these homes that are flooded to the rooftop.
Houston is seeing catastrophic flooding after Harvey dumped more than 30 inches on many parts of that city, 30 inches of rain. 13 are facing charges after thousands gathered in Berkeley, California yesterday, protesting a rally there. The organizer of the so-called No to Marxism in America rally canceled that event. Police say more than 100 anarchists dressed in black stormed through police lines and attacked at least 5 people. Dozens of illegal immigrants are facing charges after authorities discovered a new border tunnel near San Diego. 30 immigrants using that tunnel were busted over the weekend. San Diego Tunnel Task Force is working with Mexican officials to learn who is responsible for the tunnel. Illinois' top lawmakers say they're on the same page. Now it's time for rank and file to follow suit as the Illinois General Assembly returns to work today on a new plan to fund public schools. Chicago gang member on the FBI's 10 most wanted list is in custody following his arrest over the weekend in Guadalajara. The man was captured by Mexican federal immigration officers. He's tied to the murder of a 15-year-old in Chicago, Alex Ariano. Bears over the Titans 19-7 in a preseason affair in Tennessee that saw wide receiver Cameron Meredith leave the field with an ACL injury. Phillies over the Cubs 6-3. White Sox beat the Tigers 7-1. The news service of Napa Auto Parts. With quality parts and more than 90 years of experience, Napa Auto Parts can keep your car on the road all summer long. So stop by your local Napa store and keep it running longer, stronger with Napa know-how. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Home isn't just a place, it's the feeling of knowing you're safe. ADT lets you take that feeling with you. Learn more at ADT.com.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
It is 8:36. Let's get an update on the ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The Edens is fairly light inbound, 21 minutes Lake Cook to Montrose. Outbound 23. Inbound Kennedy, the delays start at Nagel. It is 56 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 33 from Montrose, 32 in the Express. The exit to Irving Park is closed to clean up an overnight truck fire. Outbound 52 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower, it is an hour. Thorndale to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 48 minutes to Thorndale. Stevenson, an hour and 7 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 46 minutes. Ryan, 21 minutes from 95th to downtown. Delays on Lakeshore Drive are southbound, Irving Park to North Avenue. Tri-State delays are northbound. The 83rd Street toll to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. But Adams Tollway stop and go lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway now fine. Veterans Memorial, slow Boughton to the Reagan Tollway, and Army Trail to 290. I-80, Northwest Indiana, looking good. Traffic answers when you need them. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Cloudy with a couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm today, high 75. Currently 65 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 9. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by MyPainChicago.com. World-class treatment for chronic pain. Go to MyPainChicago.com.
If it hadn't been for Joe Cotton Ford, I'd still be driving a beautiful car. Now we go live to Dan and Amy broadcasting from Joe Cotton Ford.
That really is funny. Go on, man. Dan and Amy, we're live from Joe Cotton Ford, and Amy has left the showroom. Amy, where are you?
I am inside a Ford Flex because I'm looking for a new minivan, something that can accommodate 7 to 10 people and a lot of sports equipment. And really, I like this. I'm with Joe Cotton.
All right,
with Tracy, and
all right, please,
he's trying to sell me on this car. Why should I get this car?
So you're going to take
because
a test
it has enough
drive.
room for you and your family, and it's comfortable, and it gets good fuel economy.
All right, so Amy, you're going to take a test drive?
Yes, I'll be
All
back
right,
in a second.
let's get Carroll Stream Police on the blower. We're going to have to shut down North Avenue. All right.
But we're at Joe Cotton Ford and Carroll Stream because Joe Cotton Ford is a proud sponsor of AM 560's biggest event of the year, Freedom Summit 2017. And Dan, tickets have gone on sale, so make sure you purchase yours today, or you can stop by right now, 175 West North Avenue in Carroll Stream, and enter for your chance to win free tickets to Freedom Summit Chicago.
Look both ways just to make sure. If you see like a turquoise, looks turquoise Flex
Yes.
You're going to want to kind of keep your distance until that car is safely out of the way for the entrance for Joe Cotton Ford, right? Fire department is en route. Engine Company 29 just passed, so they're shutting down North Avenue. Very good. All right. Also, a ally of AM 560, Northern Illinois University, the alma mater of both Carol Proft and Lawrence Proft, my parents. And the football season is about to kick off, Amy, as you know, being a huge football fan yourself. And we're pleased to be joined by our friend Sean Frazier, who is the Associate Vice President and Director of Athletics at NIU, to give a little preview of the season for the team that has given us greats like Michael Turner, LaShawn Johnson, Garrett Wolf, Jordan Lynch, Sean, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
So who are we going to be regaled with this year? Who's the next big star coming out of NIU that will join the pantheon of those athletes I just mentioned?
But those are big shoes to fill.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to rattle off some names, but we do have a group of veteran as well as young players that will excite you. There's no question about it. A lot of athleticism, a lot of speed, a lot right here from the great state of Illinois, and we're excited about the season. We open up with BC in a couple of days.
Yeah, big Friday night. You can hear it right here on AM 560, 8 o'clock versus Boston. And who's your key offensive player this year?
Well, we have a number of offensive players, and I'm an old coach, so I don't like to talk about my players so much, but we have a lot of returners coming back. They're all really good. Got a senior quarterback in Ryan Graham, who's obviously his leadership and what he brings to the table has seen a lot of plays for us. We have Jordan Huff, another senior running back for us, who's going to come back, who's done a great job for us in the past. So offensively, we're going to have a lot of things in the mix, a lot of offensive weapons. But I think the balance this year, offensively and defensively, is really going to be the delight to our fans.
Yeah, but the big question is, can you beat the Toledo Rockets to get into the BCS, to take on a big conference opponent, and continue to be the little engine that could out of DeKalb?
Yeah, I think Toledo's one of many in our bracket that we're going to have to beat. So no offense to Toledo, that's one of many. But we got to take one game at a time. You know, one of the things that we do the best is that we pride ourselves on getting it done the hard way. We have a more than conscious team this year about we're not going to sneak up on anybody. So we're going to get after it. So I like the tempo and the energy that the first and second teams have displayed during our camp going into.
Come on, how about some Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather quality trash talking about the other MAC teams? That's what we want.
No, I'm not going to be able to do that for you. But I'll tell you that we respect our conference. Our conference is from top to bottom very quality. As you can see, folks could play on New Year's 6 bowl games, and we had a chance to do that, and we look forward to doing the same coming up this year.
Now, I asked you about your best offensive player, and you don't want to neglect or forget about defensive players. So who's your best defensive player?
Well, again, I'm not going to talk about individual players, but I'll just say that we have a lot of speed and a lot of veterans coming back, and I think the strength of our defense is going to be the fact that we're deeper this year. We're not going to have the issues that we've had in the past where we haven't had players that have played in games. We're a little deeper in the defensive line, linebacker, secondary. So our players are very much a deep squad that's going to be able to kind of rotate in when some of the kids get tired or need to take a blow. We're going to have a real deep type defense that quite frankly, that's going to be able to carry us.
Do you have any special events for fans at some of the home games, like, I don't know, Colin Kaepernick T-shirt night or something?
Yeah, well, we open up. We have we do a tailgate that's it's called the Yard, and we basically have live bands that come in every game, every home game. We have a stage. We have a kids zone. We have tons of food to your liking. So we do that, and it opens 5 hours before game time. So we're really happy about that. And then what we're going to do new this year is that for our matching games, the games during the week, our Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games, we're going to put those in our indoor Ken and Ellen Chesick practice facility. So you're going to have an indoor controlled environment. So folks worried about rain, weather, what have you, we're going to have that shot this year. So that's the new thing that we're doing, and we're really excited about it.
Now, did any of your players ever take a knee during the singing of the national anthem?
No, none of our football players did that. No, and we come out after the national anthem is played, so that's probably reasons why no one did. But at the end of the day, we respect the flag, and I'm a proud son of multiple veterans that have served this country. So that's a real touchy subject right there.
There you go. Well,
of course
that's all right. That's all right. And Sean Fraser gave a good answer, and that's why we're proud to air Northern Illinois University football games on AM 560. He is Sean Fraser, Associate VP and Director of Athletics for the Huskies in DeKalb. Sean, thanks for joining us. Good luck on Thursday night. Or Friday.
Well,
Friday night.
Friday night, I'm sorry.
Yes, Friday night, 8:30 kick. And we appreciate the partnership. Love your show, Dan and Amy. Thank you so much for your support.
Thanks very much, Sean. Great talking to you again.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
Forecast some clouds right now. We did have some peaks of sunshine, and they will come back, but we can't rule out a passing shower or thunderstorm, a high of 75. Tonight, an evening shower in spots. And for Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, a few high clouds. Can't rule out a passing shower there either, but a little bit warmer, a high of 78 degrees. Now let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Good morning. On the inbound Eisenhower, delays start at St. Charles. We're looking at 61 minutes now from Thorndale to downtown, 45 from Manheim, outbound 31 to Manheim, 48 to Thorndale. Edens, 21 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction, outbound 33. The Kennedy, inbound delays starting at Foster, 51 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 35 from Montrose, 32 in the Express. The exit to Irving Park still closed, outbound 48 minutes to O'Hare. Stevenson, an hour and 12 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, an hour from the Tri-State, up on 38 minutes to 3:55. Ryan is 21 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Lakeshore Drive, heavy Irving Park to North Avenue. Northbound okay. Northbound Tri-State, stop and go from the 83rd Street toll to 31st, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Spot Adams Tollway slow lead to the Tri-State. Reagan Tollway fine. Veterans Memorial slow Boughton to the Reagan Tollway and Army Trail to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Rolling hills and beautiful prairie views. You can take it all in when you play golf at Golf Club of Illinois in Algonquin. Play at one of the finest courses in Illinois with a special seasonal deal from your good friends at ChicagoRadioDeals.com. The Golf Club of Illinois is a classic link-styles course featuring high grasses, treacherous sand bunkers, and strategically placed mounds on each hole. This course is a stern test for all skill levels, and it's consistently ranked among the top 10 public courses to play by Chicagoland Golf. Find out why Golf Club of Illinois is a secret favorite for those looking for a unique, challenging round of golf. Play with your favorite foursome of golf buddies or for only $95. Do that for $95. That includes cart and is usually almost $200. Or for the dedicated golfer, tee up the preferred player membership, normally $380, only $165, and that includes discounted rates for rounds of golf, cart, and 2 bonus rounds of golf during the 2017 season. For more warm weather deals, just visit ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
Why choose Tabota and Associates to handle your retirement? Well, because we provide objective advice and concierge service, investments, insurance, retirement planning, all at one location. We also partner with qualified attorneys and CPAs to provide complete financial strategies for our clients. We use a variety of investment and insurance products to custom design retirement plans that can give clients a clear look at their future. We help you stay on the path toward financial independence. If you don't want to do it yourself and you want to work with a team to create a financial strategy for your future, give us a call. 630-777-7955. That's 630-777-7955. Would you rather get retirement advice from some TV show host who doesn't know anything about you, or Tabota and Associates? 630-777-7955. 777-7955. Tabota & Associates is a registered investment advisory firm. Jack Tabota is an investment advisor representative and insurance professional. Investing involves risk, including the possible loss of principal. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
For me, it was the big S-Class from the 90s. Beautiful. My friend's dad had one.
The SL. All of the SLs. I've been watching those since I was a kid.
I think the 1971 SC was the first Mercedes that just blew me away.
Everyone wants the original, the authentic. And with a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz, you can experience the iconic luxury, unparalleled safety, and performance of Mercedes-Benz at a price you can afford. But just remember, only your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer has the skilled technicians to certify that your pre-owned vehicle is up to Mercedes-Benz standards. And only your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer offers an unlimited mileage warranty, so you can drive with confidence as far as you'd like for up to 5 years. There are pre-owned vehicles, and then there are Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned vehicles. Visit the certified pre-owned sales event going on now through August 31st and receive 2 years of complimentary prepaid maintenance and special financing available through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Only at your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on certified pre-owned warranties.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
If you think all banks are the same, it's time to think about Signature Bank Chicago. I'm Pete Olson, head of commercial banking at Signature Bank, where the people who own the bank operate the bank. Not in an abstract way, but in the same hands-on, personalized way that you run your business. We don't rely on a legion of business developers to find new relationships. We don't trust an outsourced phone bank to address your customer service needs, and we don't delegate decision-making to some anonymous credit committee that you'll never meet. We do everything we can to help you succeed, because if you don't succeed, we don't succeed. Call us today to see the Signature Bank difference.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. Learn more about turning your business vision into reality. Visit signature-bank.com. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up next, it's me, Mike Gallagher, right after Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford and Carroll Stream this morning, and we were just talking to our friend Sean Fraser from NIU. Why don't we stick on the Illinois college circuit and this story over the weekend, Amy, that first Chief Illiniwek goes, and I know you had the last dance with Chief Illiniwek.
No, I was there. I was working at Channel 5. I was on the floor, and we interviewed the student who was going to be the chief, and he was very protective. He wouldn't let us see the uniform that was worn. And, you know, he knew the magnitude of what he was about to do that night. And I'm telling you, everybody was crying. You could hear a pin drop. It was just mesmerizing, his last dance. And it's really sick. Every time I go to the Iowa-Illinois game, you want the chief back out there. Chief. And people even still chant, chief, chief, chief.
That's because they're racist.
Their way of protesting
and
the decision the university made.
Well, that decision has been followed now by this decision. The war chant, that quote-unquote war chant that's played during Illini football games, for example, that is going the way of Chief Illiniwek.
The band plays that. What do you mean it can't go away?
The music, the music featuring the drum beat.
Yeah,
that's gone. Hey, take it easy, Jane Fonda. No tomahawk chops, no war chants, no drum beats. Athletic Department spokesman Ken Brown saying Friday that Illinois decided to move on from the tradition to be more inclusive.
No, they did not.
And because students have not responded to it as much at football games.
That's because no one's going to the football games.
Correct, because the team is horrible.
Well,
that has
Lovie
something
Smith
to do with
is
it, too.
going to try and turn it around.
Yeah, he's not going to. Native American from the Spokane tribe began protesting the chief in 1989 because she has nothing else to do. Said, I've been saying for many decades these sports traditions were race-based and everything associated with it, and the antics of the fans mimicked and trivialized the cultural traditions of our people, so she's a big fan of it. This follows on the heels last year of University of Mississippi's band ending their 70-year tradition of playing Dixie, which, of course, was sort of an unofficial anthem of the Confederacy during the Civil War. So that's gone in Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. If any of you out there have a Chief Illiniwek shirt or sweatshirt, that is precious property because they do not sell that. anymore at all.
And I reiterate my call for all of those who oppose Chief Illini Wick and want to ban the war chant and protest the Redskins. I want them to come down to the United Center on any night that the Blackhawks have home ice and protest the removal of the Blackhawk as the mascot of the Chicago hockey franchise. Tell everybody to take their sweaters off. I want
good luck with that. Yeah, no, that would actually
don't take
a nice experiment.
Don't take the easy cases on these, these sacrosanct college campuses where you don't have opposition. I want you to take on 20,000 Blackhawks fans to show how really committed you are to the cause. Maybe even after the game, where they've had a little bit to drink. That would be my preference to.
They're a little agitated. Maybe a night that they lose.
Well, this is the whole thing, right? So Eric Hoffer once described the evolution or devolution of causes. Every great cause begins as a movement, becomes a business, and eventually degenerates into a racket. And that's what these things are, a racket. Shelby Steele, one of the most important intellects on race in America in the last 100 years, has an excellent piece over the weekend in the Wall Street Journal essentially saying that. Is America racist? Liberals sell innocence from America's past. If bigotry is pronounced dead, the racket is over. That's what it's become. The Civil Rights Act, the Civil Rights Movement, I should say, culminating in part with the Civil Rights Act in 1964, that was a honorable movement, but it has unfortunately devolved, as Eric Hoffer describes, from a honorable movement to a business to a racket, as practiced by the Jesse Jacksons and the Al Sharptons and all the race hustlers on MSNBC and CNN and in all of our civic institutions. And the whole mascot flap is just an extension of that. It's a racket.
I'm sad.
You're sad for the war chant?
Well, I'm going to the Illinois-Iowa game, and I'm just going to beat my own drum.
Is that in Champaign or?
No, it's at University of Iowa.
Oh, well.
Oh, here it is. Hello.
You should overlay taps with that war chant, because that's the Illini football program generally and the war chant specifically. Dan and Amy coming to you live from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper, hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm 75 years